D Stokes here with Renee Raiju K. Ruse. Renee, how are we doing?
I'm doing so well, Quincy. I'm so excited for some League of Legends.
Yes.
I'm excited for NACL, especially, this is going to be the second run that we have for NACL. The first one that we're going to be able to stream. I'm really excited to see what's going to be happening. I heard that we have, like, absolutely really close game today. I heard both players, like, very on par with Seeds, and I heard that they're, like, it's a good match. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be good. So this is the NACL Open Qualifiers, round 2 for you guys today. So this isn't collegiate gameplay. We're talking high tier, the step before pro gameplay. So hopefully we got some good matches coming for you guys today. But we're gonna draft pretty soon here. We'll talk about the meta for just a quick second.
Okay,
you wanted to see anything today in particular?
Oh, okay. You know what? My answer's always Nami, but I'm gonna change it up for once in my entire life. And my last stream, I was here. I said I don't like Kalista.
Okay.
And that was my hot take. But then actually, guys, I went home, played a game of League of Legends. My ADC locked in Kalista. I locked in Nico. It was the most fun bot lane I've had in literally my entire life. I just went going straight in and pressed R. So I just want to see Nico Kalista because that was really fun for me to play. And honestly, I think it would be really fun for people to watch. So that's what I want to see.
Okay, I like that. I feel like UCI would pick that out. But we do bring Nico in mid a lot with Cinnamon Bread.
Yeah.
Like that's a Nico player right there. But look at that. We have draft started here. UCI is on the red side, NLT on this blue side. Remember, this is no child's play League of Legends. We're in.
Yeah, so currently we have the Senna ban. Senna ban is a classic ban that we always see, especially against UCI, because Senna is super strong. We're loving feasting Senna and she's always strong, no matter what you do, sadly. She is strong in support. She's strong in that, ADC role. They can go lethality, you can go crit. Most likely they're going to be running lethality here, especially because Edge and Knight plus Youmu's is such a strong combination on Senna. It gives her lots of movement speed, lots of damage, and a really good safe option. I'm really also liking the Karma ban because recently, I talked about this once again, I don't like how we have damage Karma, but now people are running Enchanter Karma with this Redemption Rush, which is like actually one of my favorite builds, especially for support. But on the side of UCI, we actually have an Ivern ban, which I'm not really too sure about. Maybe Ivern was buffed, or maybe since the Redemption Rush is so strong right now, Ivern's a good ban. But regardless, I'm a bit questionable just on that specific ban.
I could see that. I mean, Ivern, I feel like that's always some tech teams could bring out. It's been strong since this, 14.4 patch we're on. It's, these enchanters, as you kind of said, are top of the line. So is TF. I see this champ. He has like a 54% win rate in 3 different lanes.
Dang.
Character is insane right now. Glad we're getting him off the table.
Yeah, and he was quote-unquote nerfed.
Yeah.
Regardless, but even that nerf did nothing to that man. He's strong in top lane, he's strong in ADC, he's strong in mid lane. But look, straight right now we have NLT picking in Smolder. Smolder is one of my favorite ADCs currently right now. I actually love scaling champions. I actually think scaling champions are the most fun. And Smolder is just one of those champions where if I see him in my game, if I'm fighting him, at the moment it hits like 25 minutes and I haven't won, I want to press the FF button.
Fair enough.
Because it's so hard to fight against him. He has great mobility.
Yep.
He also has great damage. He has great poke. He just has everything.
I really didn't like Smolder when he first got released. I was like, man, Riot keeps releasing these like anime-looking characters. I'm tired of it. Give me something different. I didn't want to play him.
His face.
And then I played him, and I was like, wait, all right, this guy's really cute. He's really fun, and I like him a lot. So I'm a Smolder believer now, but UCI on that counter pick side, we're going to pick up Jhin Shinzao. Jhin, pretty good against Smolder, right? Jin's really strong in lane, and Smolder plays this consistent damage, putting out damage playstyle. Jhin can weave in and out, right? Shoot, run.
And he can out-damage people usually in fights, depending on positioning, of course. And then also, you talked about that, the Xin Zhao, right? That is one of the Mike Young specialties that we've currently been seeing. Super strong early-game jungler. I'm going to expect either counter-jungling. I'm going to expect a level 3 invade on that grub side. And I'm also probably going to expecting a bot dive, most likely, especially since we're on red side.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, Mike Young plays he plays a wide variety of characters, right? He's really, really good, particularly as a player, I think, when it comes to sacrificing his own strength for the good of his team. We saw him a couple months ago, like, picking Maokai nonstop. Just team player. He strikes me as a very team player. I think Xin Zhao was one of those picks of his that now strikes me as a little bit something you wouldn't usually see him play, at least in the last couple months. You know, we all know Mike Young used to be this hard carry jungler, but he's taken this much more teamwork role. Yeah, which I really like. But a Rumble pick up on the top lane for Elated into the Aatrox, I mean, that's a classic, right?
Yeah, no matter how many times I will say it, we have always seen this Aatrox and Rumble pick before, and usually it usually ends up in Rumble's favor. But you never know. These are top of the top players, as
It's
you
true.
said, Quincy. So you never know what they could be bringing out here and what differences that we have. UCI banning on the Ashe. Ashe is super strong right now in support. She also has once again, she also has a variety of different builds, which I think is really interesting. She has this kind of lethality build. She also has this Malignance build,
Yeah.
Axiom Arc build. So I think it's a really good ban that they took it off the table, especially with Smolder. Because Ashe has a lot of poke, and Smolder does really well with poke lanes because you can poke and farm, kind of like Seraphine lanes. You're able to just scale out really safely, and you don't have to get that variance of I have to be needed right now before my 1 or 2 item power spike.
100%. I think I like what UCI is doing with this draft so far. At least Maokai would be no shock. Nico, don't get excited, Renee.
Dang, they really hate me.
Sorry, losing. Okay, we got Rel picked up here. I like this. This is a Light Pulse Classic. I mean, right? We don't know much about NLT for now. I'll be totally honest, but I wouldn't be surprised. Maokai's a great pick into Rel. You can deny her engage with that Q, the Bramble Smash. It can really just dissuade Rel from engaging at all. But now we're down to the last picks. Mid laners is what we have our eyes on, unless it's a Zac mid.
Oh.
But what are you thinking for mid picks here, Renee?
Mid, interesting. Well, honestly, I kind of want to wait to see what they're hovering because we banned out 2 support picks, right? We banned out Rakan, and we also banned out this Nautilus pick. So I'm assuming that they're going to be targeting more of these bot lane bans, and as we just saw right there,
interesting.
Kai'Sa. But also, Kai'Sa can flex mid or bot lane.
So can
I'm
Smolder.
going to assume Smolder mid, though.
I think so.
Smolder's really strong mid. And then Kai'Sa ADC, but especially Kai'Sa has been buffed recently, especially in the 14.4 patch. We've been seeing her go this mana immune build. Also, you can go Kraken build, and you can also go this Eclipse Nashor's Tooth build. So it's just, I'm shocked to see it, but also I'm more shocked to actually see Tristana. We have Tristana here in the mid lane against Smolder. I actually don't know how this works out, but I think Tristana has really good early lane pressure. She has really good early game pressure, and then also she has, you're able to rotate for Grubs level 3.
Okay.
So I'm expecting that's a pretty good pick, but I probably would have wanted to see a mage, maybe Orianna or Nico. But regardless, I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, it's not something we've seen Cinnamon Bread play that often either. I agree. He much more plays these control mages, plays them very, very well, mind you. But yeah, Tristana's not something we typically see him on. But yeah, that's draft. I like what these teams are doing. They both have very staple. This meta, we haven't deviated much from the Smolder comp as of now. It's been a couple weeks. We keep seeing Smolder. I love to not see Smolder as much. That's a personal opinion, but hopefully we get in a game soon. Thoughts going into this game, Renee?
Thoughts going into this game. Okay. I'm worried about how we're going to be doing our fights.
Okay.
Usually, in the classic League of Legends, when you learn League of Legends, you're okay, got a tank,
Yeah.
I have front line, I have back line, how am I going to play this? But especially in these 2 games, we're seeing a lot of there's a very true frontline pick. We have Rel, we have Maokai, right? And then we have a lot of range damage. We have the Rumble ultimate, and then we also have the Kai'Sa W. We also have Jhin R. We also have Smolder W and R, right? So I'm worried to see how we're going to be, fighting these lots of heavy poke, and then how we're going to be executing these heavy pokes, especially since Maokai has a bit more variance in his engages, especially because Maokai can R from super far away, but Rel doesn't really have that variance. She has to either flash in to get the execution that Maokai needs. So,
I like that. That's a good breakdown. Absolutely. We are just having a quick audio issue. We'll get that sorted out for you guys. Don't worry. We're not going anywhere. We'll keep the game right where it is, and we'll jump right back into this action. But I think what you said about the front line, right? UCI's opponent here, they got a big wall to break down in front of them. We have Zac, Aatrox, Maokai.
Yeah.
That's quite a front line, right? UCI's front
line.
line, we got Shinzao. Remind me, Rel.
Rel.
Rel's pretty tanky.
That's really it. And Zinzao isn't a front line, I would say. But also, we've been seeing lots of Aatrox, especially. We had the pleasure of watching a scrim between UCI and Option 33, which are 2 very good teams. And we've been seeing when people picked Aatrox, and both of these teams, they used Aatrox as kind of a flank character. As someone who went straight for the backline, and he wasn't really this tank, soaking up damage. He was someone that literally, he either TP'd behind them, or he would just avoid everyone in the front line and go straight to the backline.
He builds Profane Hydra now,
right?
Yeah,
so I really want to see how they're going to be utilizing this, especially because Rumble can play this ultimate and then we're engaging, but then Kai'Sa can play I'm gonna W you, and then Smolder's gonna WR you, and then if it misses, it misses, but if it lands, I don't know what you're gonna do.
Right, and we're back in game here. You love to see it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We've got audio. We're locked in. NACL Open Qualifiers Round 2. UCI versus Nigel's Last Tiles. Excited.
I'm excited too. And also, if you guys may not be aware of how NACO works, this isn't actually a casual best of 3.
Right.
This is a best of 1. So today, instead of, we're not going to be fighting NLT, sadly, for all 3 games. We're going to be fighting them for 1 game, and then we're going to another person, then another person. So regardless, today, we're going to have 3 absolutely amazing games for you. But this is essentially a winner's take all right now. You have one option, and hopefully you win or you lose, I guess.
Yeah, we're fighting for these points, trying to make it out of the qualifying stage, because that really is the dream for all of these teams here in this tournament. But nothing. It's really intense, right? These are all top tier teams. They're all fighting, scraping tooth and nail to get into these higher levels of gameplay. And this is that first step for these players. So this series means a lot to these players. So I can't wait to see what they really have all on the line. This isn't your typical collegiate match. This is the real deal.
Yeah, and we also have like no leashing going on. We're both fighting on that top side. So I think what they're gonna probably do is go top bot, and then from there they're probably gonna make a decision of should I take dragon or should we gonna go for those grubs. And we have been seeing lots of people fighting these level 3 grubs instead of just like giving it up, which I really love to see. I love these early game fights. And speaking of the actually early game, Smolder took fleet footwork instead of this arcane comment, so he's mostly going to be going for hold on,
Light Pulse with a nice little flip there, getting some damage onto good shot. This dominance is something you see time and time again from Gorka Light Pulse. We talk about these two together all the time. They're such strong players, I mean, all across UCI really. But we'll have to see what Nigel's has in store. Nice stun there coming out of Light Pulse. 4th shot. We're knocking up some health bars for now.
That is definitely some dominance there, Quincy. I like how they got that level 2 pressure because I think Kaisa has a pretty weak level 1 2 there, and I think they know that Jin is probably going to be able to capitalize on that, especially with Rel. And I also liked how, Rel hit the Maokai, but then they immediately start stunning the Kaisa. They have really good focus, which I absolutely adore in this bot lane combo.
Love to see it. And he laid it as well, of course, on this Rumble. For now, dominance being displayed. Rumble can be a tough matchup for Aatrox until he kind of gets some items up. Then Aatrox does a pretty good job at sustaining against Rumble's damage, but we're going to see a classic Mike Young kind of walking in here. Jungle Barber has no idea what's coming for him. We do have the engage, but he's going to slingshot himself out of there. Hopefully we can claim those Krugs.
Oh, it looks like he might be forced to go back here because I don't even think the other bot lane is going to be responding to this engage that is going to be happening. I think they know because Zach probably doesn't have as much damage as, Zin's out in this early game, especially since they already pushed in. They don't want to miss out on these minions and miss out on the scaling too they can get.
Yeah, things like that matter a lot in this early game, especially against a champion like Jin, who can really drive the game's tempo at such a high pace. Love Ego is going to walk down here, but Mike Young finds himself in a sticky situation. We're going to march towards Elias for just a second here, but we're all just feeling each other out. We're all right. We're
chilling. Mike Young was able to get that red buff. Zach got the Krugs. They took the split, and now they're going to go back to where they are. I think right now Mike Young is probably going to be looking for just trying to clear all this bot side and going straight to grubs. But also, dragons, I think, have a bit more importance recently.
Okay.
As we've been seeing the tempo of the game. So I think, trying to see which one you want to give up is really important.
I agree with that. And it is, you have to be on the lookout for how these junglers play, right? Ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes on those mini-maps. You'll probably see junglers sticking to the opposite sides of the map. Zach will maybe decide, hey, I want to play for these grubs, and Shinzao kind of goes, all right, well, in that case, I'll play for dragons, and that really dictates how a lot of the game goes. But
playing for grubs indeed, top lane engage.
Elated does get himself knocked up. The strikes here coming out of Zach as well, knock his health down low. Not even, no flash available. He lost it in an earlier fight. We missed that one, but that's Elated down.
Quincy, you're literally a mind reader. You just knew for a fact that, hey, if Mike Young's valid, then Zach has to go top lane. I think that was a really good rotation and a really good read on those junglers. But now the wave is crashed, so we might be getting a 4-man engage down in this bot lane. However, Maokai does have no mana, but they still have all their summer spells up, Quincy.
It's dangerous. Good shot. Finds himself stunned and knock up. TP does come in to try to help them out. Lightpost lives with about 100 HP on that left side. Elias is here. Mike Young dropping low as well, but I don't think they have the means to find any kills here. And UCI look to sign off here with the 4 members standing. You love to see it. That is not a bad dive there.
Not a bad dive, really. Kaisa only wasted her heal as well. She still has flash up, but now they're all really low, which is super unfortunate because that means they cannot take the dragon, and that is 3 grubs for NLT. Honestly, really well played. I really wish that the dive went a little bit smoother, just because it's like the perfect, we're going to dive, we're going to take dragon. But NLT played it to a T, and I really liked how Love Ego decided to soak up a lot of that damage and play kind of on the Kaisa to body block in a lot of that.
Yeah, and it does sting a little bit, as you said, not being able to transfer that into a dragon. I feel like Nigel's, they wouldn't even be too unhappy with that trade, right? You know, 1 bot lane kill, they don't get dragon and you get grubs. That is A-okay, but Cinna might be taking a peek over here. Jungle Barber, level 4, now level 5. Gets himself out of there, but Zach is so hard to pin down, especially when you have no CC. But looks like we are going to jump onto Zach here. We're using that R. He's going to slide on out of there, no problems. He's a happy camper still.
He's still a happy camper, and he's going to be also taking a camp right there. Once again, we're seeing Layden put that pressure on in that top lane. He's just probably going to be pushing in waves because that's kind of what Rumble does best and trying to get these pokes before he goes in for an all. But speaking of all engage on this bot lane, they're also pushed in. So I wonder how they're going to be flipping this map to try and take their next objective, as Zach is now going to have a reset and probably going to straight for that bot lane.
Right, it's interesting. Normally, we talked a lot about how they often trade, okay, Grubs for Dragon, Dragon for Grubs, etc. But Dragon is still up, and Grubs have been taken. So now both junglers have their eyes on this Dragon, saying, hey, wait a minute, we don't have to trade this for anything. We can just go ahead and take this ourselves. I love this constant aggression from Light Pulse as well, just down here. But looks like Xin Zhao might be tackling the Dragon, or Scudder. We'll have to find out. Sure.
Yeah, Gorka does have heal here. He does have cleanse here, so that is going to be important to know, as they probably might want to take a level 3 fight. I don't know if Zach has the absolute read on this, but it looks like he does indeed.
Elastic Slingshot finds onto 2. We're going to slam them together, and the CC follows up from Maokai as well. Maekyoung has entered the fight, trying to peel Gorka. He's got to get out of here. 4th shot in the chamber. Zach drops into those blobs. They still have a lot of health bars here, and Light Pulse does fall. Gorka got to watch out here. Maekyoung actually re-engages into 3 members. He falls, and Gorka might pay the price as well for this, and that's 3 members down from Irvine. Nigel's doing a wonderful job there.
How absolutely well played. Jungle Barber had the read. He knew they're going to be taking Dragon out, and I know it for a fact. He waited for them to go into the bush to get that early lane vision and then went straight onto Gorka and Light Pulse. I feel like Mike probably should have waited to start that Dragon just a little bit more to wait for his teammates to go to make sure that it is a 100% for sure Dragon, because trying to take these 50-50 objectives. Ooh, but he does miss that equalizer, sadly, on the summer, but he's going in here. Can see.
We're going to pop World Ender, but Elated wants a piece of that cake. He wants to try to get in, but the damage from Aatrox is just too strong. Wait, the flash and the turn shot pranked us as well. Elated with an outplay, taking a kill.
Elated has happy feet right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
He dodges skill shots left and right. Really well played. But, you know, Quincy, as I was talking about earlier, I feel like Mike probably should have waited just a little bit more, because, you know, if you want to get those 50-50s onto objectives, it's really hard because you have to take a 50-50, and no one really wants to take a 50-50, especially in League of Legends, where objectives a lot of times are key, and getting those early lane pressure and kills is super important.
Absolutely it is, and just as important as this map control we're seeing out of UCI. We've seen things go very back and forth this game, and when the dust settles a little bit, Nigel's has a little bit of a gold lead, 800, 900 gold for now, but if UCI can claim this Dragon, if they can start to climb that hill that is victory for just a little while, but this is looking to be a close game.
It doesn't look like they're even going to be contesting Dragon yet, even though they know they're on it. Probably just because Sinna has the advantage on that mid lane rather than Elias as of right now. I can't wait to see, though, how we're going to be playing this mid game, though. That they're going in right now.
It's a big CC chain onto Good Shot. He drops to half HP, but Gorka becomes the main target. No flash, no cleanse. He's nothing but a loose man. Light Pulse as well, trying to do something, but Maekyoung here to bring out the Thunder. Not going to find anybody, as well as a nice flash from Good Shot escapes him from Maekyoung's clutches. That's another 3-0 for the side of Nigel's.
Jungle Barber just has a read on them, Quincy. And this Maokai is denying so much engage pressure. It's absolutely insane. Maekyoung tried to go and he tried getting that E, and it immediately got cancelled by that Maokai Q and R. This is looking very rough right now, especially since Kai'Sa's probably going to be getting her first item on her back. Exactly in a second there. Is that Eclipse? Almost like you're going to be seeing Eclipse Nashers for that absolutely insane W damage.
Yeah, that's going to be the 9-minute Eclipse. The trade potential is going to be through the roof here with Kai'Sa. She's up 1.7 thousand gold on Gorka. That's a lot of gold for just 9-10 minutes into this game. But UCI aren't dissuading too easily. They're going to try to get these grubs here. Jungle Barber obviously knows the Rel is here now. We're going to bring in the rest of the squad to try to take Maekyoung away from this. He managed to take one grub, but now with the Zach in the middle of their team, Maekyoung drops to half HP, and the root does come through from Ego. And they're going to find these free kills now, maybe even free grubs.
Yeah, Sour did have his World Ender. Elated still have his Equalizer to maybe dissuade them off of those grubs. So regardless, I don't think they might want to be fighting this at all, because they're really behind it. Putting them behind even more is going to lead to an indefinite snowball.
Absolutely. We've rotated Light Pulse up into this top side here, but Cinna finds himself in a tough spot. Rel, CC coming through to try to keep him alive, but here comes Zach, the Elastic Slingshot, closing so much ground. Light Pulse is now the main target. Looks like he's going to fall. Good shot. Might want to claim this one up, and he will. Unstoppable for the AD carry of Nigel's.
Oh my god, that was so well played. I actually thought that NLT got caught out there because that was an absolutely amazing W from Light Pulse, but it sadly was not enough damage in order to seal that off for Good Shot. Good Shot saw his ultimate, which once again also got buffed, so it has a much bigger shield, and now it looks like Gorka might be getting a dive in here, Quincy. He does have Cleanse Up, but no Flash.
No Flash is so tough. Cleanse doesn't provide too much value against Maokai, right? Because when he W's you, either way he's up against you, but hang on, Elated looking for a solo kill angle. A Sour is helpless against the flames of Elated.
Yeah, you know, right now it's still everybody's game, I believe, especially since Elated is kind of, I wouldn't say dominating that top lane, but he is currently putting a lot of pressure onto this Aatrox. But, you know, especially since you can't cleanse knockups. So that's also really difficult, especially in this game where we're going to be having the Zac knockup and then also that Maokai with this Q knocks you up. So.
Yeah, it's a knockup. Like, the root isn't that long on Maokai W. The ult route can be long if it's towards the edge, but it's a weird kind of situation. I understand why Gorka went cleanse, right? They have like Zac too. Aatrox is a bit weird to play into, but nothing particularly strikes me as cleansable.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Quincy, especially since I think he has a lot of movement speed and a lot of agency in order to kite around. He can go in and out, as you said earlier. So, I mean, yes, cleansing would probably be good for if he gets caught out by that Maokai ultimate, especially because it's long range and it speeds up as you go. But I feel like that is the only cleanse target that he really has in this game, regardless from, I don't know, maybe just the Maokai W?
I guess so. Maybe even an exhaust. I really couldn't tell you.
I think the Zac Q is also a knockup as well.
Yeah, you can't cleanse that. But Light Pulse does spot out Love Eagle on the side here. Secures that knockup. Glacial Augment slowing him down as well. Looks like he says, all right, you got me. I'll take you on an adventure here. Let's see how long it takes you to kill me. Cinnamon Bread looking to lock this one down real soon. I like that decision from Love Ego. Let's take them away from Good Shot and just, you know, oh well.
I'm not gonna lie, did Cinnamon Bread do any damage there? I was trying to, I was like, wow, he's dead. And then another auto came out, I was like, no, he's dead now. Oh, and I was like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah, after the shot, for sure. Listen, we're scaling.
Yeah, we're scaling. We need that. We definitely need that true damage autos, especially in this game where they have a lot of tanks. So I can't wait to see how we're going to be playing this out. But Alias is absolutely dominating so far, I feel like, in the stacking department. He has 105 stacks at already 13 minutes, which is absolutely insane. This Fleet Orc is keeping him really healthy as well. And Cinnamon Bread doesn't really have a lot of kill agency because he's playing so far back.
And the rest of Nigel's is just waiting to pounce on Cinna. Usually the advantage of this Tristana pick mid is you can kind of, you have kill threat every like 8 seconds with your W resetting. You can jump in, find 80% of your enemy's health bar and just kill them. But with the hover he's been getting from Jungle Barber and from Love Ego as well, he's been so difficult to tame in this mid lane. I think UCI is going to have a big problem, but hang on. We're looking for a dive here. Sour has Flash available. World Ender as well does get popped. He might be hard to kill here. He's got healing. He's got a lot of sustain, but let's see if they can do it. Third Q does come through, but the healing is not there. Nobody falls to that tower. Nice dive.
Yeah, that was a lot of CC luck, especially in that Rumble Equalizer. That's just so hard to break out of, and that is one of the absolute beauties of, you know, just picking Rel and having Rel on your team. He does a lot of healing, but once if it doesn't land or he can't auto, no healing agency sadly goes down. But, you know, now looks like we're just going to be going straight for that Rift Herald. You know, we need to put a lot of pressure right now on just getting our build up and just getting these items as we are around like a 3 to 4K deficit. But now we are 1-1 on those dragons, and now victory is really good for NLT.
Yeah, not too bad. UCI are going to pick up this Rift Herald here. Hot take, Renee. You might disagree with me on this.
Okay.
I think Rift Herald is the worst objective. Is that a hot take?
I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's a very good take. But I wouldn't say, I'm not saying it's like scorching hot, but it's a hot take. But I think you're very valid with it. I think Rift Herald does provide a lot of agency when you're ahead.
Okay.
But when you're behind and you get like one objective bounty, it also has a lot of agency. Yeah. But than that, sometimes you can pop Rift Herald and it'll get taken down in 2 seconds. Yeah. And you've wasted an objective. You wasted, you know, potentially going for a dragon, potentially going for another pick that could escalate you further on into the game. So I definitely agree with you on that, but it has like, it's very niche uses.
Wow. Absolutely, that's fair. And even with that bug, right? I don't know if you've seen this in your games, but you can hop in it and it turns itself around, so you're driving the wrong direction. I don't know if you've seen that, but I feel like that happens on a consistent basis, and it just makes the Rift Herald so much worse. But 4,000 gold down now. UCI are sitting maybe not so comfortably. Oh, I wanted to touch on this too. I feel like they have kind of a ticking time bomb. The Smolder just finishes Cole. He's been going untouched as he Might get touched right there
my
as he
God.
gets it right there. But he's going to be strong late game. He's got Cole stacked up. He's got 0-0-0 across the board, but he's very well stacked.
Yeah, he is opting for this Triforce, so like kind of like a bruisery build rather than this, the Riftmaker Shojin build that we have been seeing on Smolder recently. And Kaisa is actually opting for a lot of, instead of like going in engage build, she does have the Looming Companions rather than that Nashor's Tooth. So she's going to be doing a lot of damage from the back. I think especially what's going to be happening here is, oh wait, Zach also has Leandries. I didn't even see that till right now. Whoa, AP Zach, AP Bruiser Zach. Can't wait to see it. But I think what's going to be happening here is Kaisa is just going to be Wing them from a range that they literally do not know where she is. And then when they get low, Maokai Smolder's just going to W in because he's going to have Triforce, so he's going to be a little bit bruisery and tanky.
Okay.
And then they're probably not going to know what to do because Lycos either has to counter engage or peel. And if they get caught out, especially with UCI later not being able to go in range for that equalizer, it's going to look very rough for them. But I can't wait to see how he played out.
Yeah, I think that's very well said. It's tough. These are going to come down to a hair how these team fights play out. And I think Nigel's last tile absolutely have the advantage so far. But we've seen Light Pulse pull off some crazy plays from the Fog of War and things like that. So we're just going to wait and scale this game out. Let's go through a hypothetical, Renee. We're 30 minutes into this game. Not too many more kills have happened. Which team is taking the cake late game?
Ooh, 30 minutes into the game. Not a lot of stuff has happened. I really want to say Nigel just because I really like the Kaisa combo, which is like a lot of range and then going straight in for the Zac. But I feel like UCI, especially we have like a little bit of insight on how they play. We've seen UCI play a lot from Fog of War, as you said, with Light Pulse, and also the Equalizer going and putting a lot of pressure. I feel like what will happen is if UCI maybe tries to go for a Baron and then Rumble counters it with an Equalizer that hits like 4 or 5 people, especially since they're going to be really clumped up. That would just provide so much stuff for UCI that Nigel won't even be able to play from longer. So
that makes sense to me. I like that. I think they have a very like maneuverable team fight. Kaisa can move around. Smolder can move around. Zac is a great sort of engage. UCI have a very direct kind of line of what they want to do, right? They want to find the rel engage, throw an Equalizer on there, and kind of rush out the fight that way. But I think Nigel's team comp, they're so dynamic and they can move around. It's going to be really tough to actually lock these members down. So I absolutely agree with you, Renee. But now still 4,000 gold down. We're just going to ride this one out for a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely are, I haven't really seen a lot of fighting being taking place. This is, one of the highest caliber games, especially for a lot of these teams who have played pro or collegiate or even semi-pro, right? So, we're going to see the game be a little bit more slower than a usual game that, you play in your solo queue games or see in the regular collegiate match, which I really enjoy because in that you get like a lot of agency of like, okay, how are people actually playing when they're behind? How are people also playing when they're ahead? Because usually you would see like a 9-5 game, and you see a 3-0 Zac and a 5-1 Kaisa, and you think like, we should have to keep fighting. Let's snowball our lead. But also, if that shutdown gets taken down, it's gonna be super unfortunate. But Cinnamon Bread here in the bush was just gonna be emo and walk away because Elias has so much awareness.
Yeah, he's got a lot of health, too. Like, Doran's Ring plus Triforce, that's like 380 health right there, something like that. I don't even know if Cinna finds the kill. In a 1v1, if Cinnamon Bread jumps onto this Smolder, I don't know if he even kills.
Actually, I think you're right. I don't know either. I think it would really depend on if Mom hits or not. But even then, they do have that W, which just does so much damage from a long range that maybe they could, like, kite out Cinna somehow. Not 100% sure.
Somehow. It'd be tough. It would be tough for sure. But I like how we're slowing down the game. We talked about Nigel's having a really strong late game, especially team fight. UCI have a pretty good late game too. Jin is nothing to snooze at.
Yeah.
Tristana too, pretty good DPS character in that late game.
Yeah,
I'm torn.
We do have Dragon coming up, so we're going to be spawning Richo to put a lot of, mid pressure. Looks like we're not going to be going into this payload here because, once again, it's only for pressure. But I don't think they're going to be responding with this pressure at all, especially since they don't have a lot of vision on that Dragon. And, I don't even think they know that they're taking it right now, which is absolutely crazy. I wouldn't really expect a Zac to just, like, Dragon and, get it down all the way to, like, 6k HP, but I think he's doing it right now, especially because he has that Leandries.
I was going to say that's the Leandries tag. It must be percent max. That's insane. Busted.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe UCI did know and they were just like, hey, it's only one Ocean Drake. We can just give this up. I'm not 100% sure, but, regardless of that fact, they have another objective. And, it looks like Baron Nash is going to be spawning. That's also just one of the most close animations of the new season. Very aesthetically pleasing. We have the critical being committed, Quincy.
Yeah, we're going to pull it out here. Love Ego is going to block these shots for now, but I like the pressure they're applying. That will probably secure them this mid turret here, man.
Yeah, nice indeed. Kachuk got taken down to really low, so I'm expecting probably Goroka caught him out in one. Oh, actually, no, I think the equalizer because now Elated doesn't have equalizer out, so at least now we have like a really good gauge on how much damage my equalizer gonna do paired with absolutely nothing else to back it up. So I think UCI is gonna be pretty happy to see how that works. But now we have some Marvin in that top side. Rel is trying to dissuade them off, but it looks like right now we're having a 4v3.
Absolutely, it's dangerous. Zach anywhere in this jungle is something I wanted to touch on as well. With these map changes, right? A lot of champions kind of had to change their playstyle, right? You can't jump over as many walls if you're, say, Kha'Zix, but Zach thrives with these giant walls all the way across the map. You have to be so careful of what this champion could do, just like this. Mike Young finds himself out of nowhere with 2 members of Nigel's on top of him. He looks to be okay for now. We're even committing a TP out of Smolder. I'm not sure what that accomplished, I'll be honest, but that's okay.
Probably just pressure, but
that's pressure.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm so shocked how they got that read on Mike Young. They had no vision, they had no words, they didn't even see him path up there, and they were just like, you know what, he has to be here. So
yeah.
Honestly, really good awareness. I probably definitely would not have that awareness at all. I'd probably be like, maybe they're on barriers? Like, I don't know. But that just shows how well these players are playing, especially looking down here at this bot lane score. Sour is looking very low, Cinnamon trying to get that kill to get, equalize that gold and see where that gold is going to.
Aatrox dishing out so much damage before his death there. Cinnamon Bread might try to find his second kill here as Love Ego falls as well. And just like that, UCI swinging this game back in their favor. Elated has been such a problem for Nigel's this game.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't really know how they're going to be able to combat Elated, especially when he's going to be using that equalizer and just running in with that Q. We do have Zach, but Zach already opted for that Leandri's and Randuin's. So currently they are very susceptible to AP damage, but especially on the flip side here, we're also UCI susceptible for AP damage because right now Kaisa already has Horizon Focus. She is 3 items in. That W is going to be doing a lot of damage. But just like that, on the flip side, we have a lot of important items for Jhin. We have that Collector and the Yomus, and then we also have the Navori Quickblades and Kraken. So I think if we take fights here, there's definitely going to be a lot of damage, and I think, especially looking at this like Maokai and Zach, I think they're going to be much more squishier than people are going to be anticipating right now.
I think so. I like that a lot. Elated is absolutely going to dish out some damage to the Zach.
Yeah.
But, the rest of UCI's members, that's all AD damage, right? That's one of the downfalls of this Tristana mid. You pick it for this mid prio, but late game you are stuck with another AD champ, which can be okay. Elated might be looking for something sneaky here. Elias does have Flash in the back pocket. Elated keeping his Fury up high, drops the equalizer. Elias has to run for the hills. A lot of damage coming out of here. Mom isn't even enough to save him as the damage is too high.
Oh my god. He even flashed, he W'd, he slowed, he mom, and he couldn't get out because he ran up to literally QWR, and that's you're gone. He didn't use Ignite, of course, but regardless of that fact, this is going to prove once again that you showed Elated is a problem.
Cinnamon Bread as well, finding a trade. He autoed a minion halfway through that, but he does kite it out. That was almost absolutely disastrous. Maybe it was a flex. We'll call it a flex.
Regardless, I think we talked about how Elated is a problem, but I think right now we're also seeing that Sour. Regardless of looking at your KDA 1 and 5, oh my gosh, he is a problem, especially for Cinnamon Bread right now. That 1v1 was extremely close, considering especially the item deficit that we had. I think that really goes to show that Sour is landing the necessary Qs, especially since he was also able to buffer that Tristana auto later on after he autoed that minion.
Yeah, absolutely shutting down the rocket jump midair was that glimmer of hope. That was the, oh my gosh, I can kill the Tristana, but unfortunately not quite enough. UCI have swung this game pretty heavily. I won't say it's not technically in their favor yet if we're looking strictly at the gold graph, but the tempo seems to be going in Irvine's favor, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. They were actually a 4K gold deficit, and now they brought it up to around only like 600, 700 gold. So that really shows a lot. We do have Dragon coming up and Baron coming up. I think right now is going to be one of these dicey moments where it's like, are they on Baron, or maybe are they going to be opting for Dragon? Because if we give them Dragon, then they're 1 towards Soul Point. But right now it looks like we're just going to be bush cheesing.
Absolutely. I think that's so important. Bush cheesing, that's the name of the game. Engaging in these fights is going to matter so much. Whoever can take that engage first, whether it's Rel jumping into 4 or it's Zach jumping into 4, that is what's going to start the fight off. And I think we got even game. That's what we're going to say. I'm throwing my prediction down right now. It's going to be even. We're going to be all good, and then we're going to see crazy engage, and it's going to sway the game entirely of one team. That's my hot prediction. Yeah,
we do have a lot of even, Steven, as you said. We do also have, UCI has a lot of that, ward advantage, thankfully, but Maokai is also one of those people where it's like, once again, I'm not going to be just like blind checking bushes because I have the utility to stop that. Aatrox does have TP up, but it looks like he just is already there, actually. I thought he was in the bot lane, wasn't looking attention. Looks like right now, Cinderbread's going to be putting a lot of pressure in that top lane in order to dissuade people from that Baron, but regardless, right now, I don't think we're going to be taking anything. I think we're just going to try and honestly fake people out on both sides.
Absolutely. I would be frustrated playing into how Irvine is playing right now. They're playing this split push with Cinnamon Bread, look for these weird picks, just control vision. We're not committing to any fights. We're not giving the Zach the chance he wants to find an engage. We're just going to keep Cinna split pushing, applying this pressure, and closing this jungle or gold gap in any way we can. But Dragon is now the main focus.
Yeah, both people on the top lane do have TP up, but you know, right now, looking at our summon missiles, we also have all summon missiles up. We have flashes up. Ooh, and that equalizer is being committed, Quincy.
Curtain Call comes out. Good shot. Has 3 ults committed towards him. Maybe that's 2. My miscount. But he's going to live. It cost him a flash, but I think they're A-okay with that. We're going to live that for now. Irvine changing their tracks towards Baron here, though.
Yeah, but look at Gorka's health. That was 1 W ready from Kaisa, so I think right now, Bush Cheese, as you said, is the name of the game, but Kaisa can just W that bush, and there is no more Bush Cheese.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up, because that's exactly what they can do. Even Smolder W is not too bad at clearing out these bushes. They can take their time, playing safe. Elated is going to pick something up. This man is a magician. We're not even sure where he is, but Nigels are okay trading up for the Dragon here still, but we're going to start hitting Baron here for Irvine.
Yeah, but later right now he had to use that flash and that ignite up. He also doesn't have equalizer up. So I think if they play range here, they might be able to turn it, but Light Pulse going on right now on the back line.
The roots do get called in. Light Pulse finds 2, and then knock up the stun finds another as well. Mike Young with the damage up front is going to shut down Elliot so far. Mom comes in, says, "Don't you dare talk about my son that way," and knocks him down. We're off Baron, which I think is a win for Nigels, but UCI look like they want more. Light Pulse leading the charge, finds the flip onto the AD carry of Nigels, but Zach is here for that counter engage. Jungle Barber dropping low. Elated is godlike, ladies and gentlemen. The side of Nigels looks helpless against Irvine right now. They just keep marching forward.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
They tried to march forward, but it just wasn't enough. They did get 2 picks there, which is really good, but right now Mike Young was unfortunately taken down, which means they're not able to take Baron anymore, because if they take Baron, Jungle Barber could just go straight in and steal, especially, you know, Zach has some pretty good steal engages. He doesn't even have to go in the bait, he can just go straight across, smite, and then you're kind of helpless. I really liked how Love Ego and actually Barber played that fight, because, you know, Light Pulse did get that flash onto Good Shot, but I feel like Good Shot was like chilling the entire time. He pressed E and he was gone like a light, and they were just stuck on that Zach and that Maokai. Honestly, really good PO, and I'm kind of scared to see now how fights are going, especially if we're going to be looking at that. NLT is proving its worth.
Absolutely, and this game has slowed down a lot now too, and that goes in the favor of Nigels, I think, because they have this Smolder. We just saw he was around 200 stacks, so he's not quite at that 225 mark, which is not good at 27 minutes in. We would love to see him there by now. He had great stacks earlier in the game, but out of 10 kills, he's participated in 1 of them. He hasn't been hitting champions that often. He's just kind of farming, which is okay, but maybe not as strong as you'd like him to be.
Yeah, I was talking about earlier, like, we want to see sometimes snowballing and how do people snowball their lead. And although I feel like, you know, this Zach and this Kaisa are playing really well. Like, if you look at their gameplay, you cannot tell me that they're playing bad at all. I just feel like with the lead that they had, especially in the range advantage that they had a lot of times in this game, they could have done just a little bit more, especially since I feel like a lot of the lanes have kind of been defenseless, you know? We saw Cinnamon Bread just, like, on the bot lane, and he's alone. Like, if you guys want to kill Cinnamon Bread with that shutdown that he has right now, and you know, if you're just going to send Sour only, like, maybe we should change up our macro a little bit and send 2 or 3 people in one place. Maybe keep Kaisa on a very, very far back line to dissuade people from pushing. But regardless, I think they're both playing really well.
I think so, absolutely. Looking at bot lane too, Cinna has almost 10 CS a minute. This is 3 items working on his 4th right now. Tristana is a monster at this point in the game. I have no doubts that if Cinna wants to, he's going to engage on Sour right here. And I think he can burst him down quickly. Just like this, we're going to go in, pop that bomb. We might probably ult him away in just a second. But, I mean, look at the damage. Look at the lack of damage from Sour. That's an easy kill, even through the Sterix.
Oh my gosh, Cinnamon Bread is... I don't think that's an ADC anymore. I think that's an assassin right off the bat. He is playing these bush shooters like it is his life. He also does have TP available, so I think right now that might be a free dragon. But once again, we do have a lot of range on that Kaisa. Smolder does have Mom, Flash, and TP. Maokai does have his ultimate as well displayed, but on the flip side, Light Pulse also has ultimate, so does Lorca with that Curtain's Call.
It's tough. They have a lot of engage here. So does Light Pulse. So plus the equalizer does drop down. We have claimed the Baron Nashor. Let's see if Irvine wants to march any further. Looks like we want to back up for now as their health bars are dwindled from that poke of Nigel's, but if they can get out scot-free here, but the engage from Kaisa just come through, finding a kill onto that rail for now. Curtain Call does open up, his good shot drops low. Makyung is able to take him down. Jungle Barber into the main focus of Irvine. He landed on the right side, kind of warning off the backline of Nigel. Say, hey, don't go any further, but the TP here might spell disaster. Gorka and Sinna are the front line here, which is not what you want to see. Those are AD carries down there, but wait, they find a kill. They find the exit opportunity, and they're gone.
That was so well played. I'm actually kind of shocked, and I don't know if Sour wants to go for more, but I think right now he's going to let it rest because I don't think he wants to die any more than he has currently in this game. But Quincy, I think we have to talk about that fight really quickly. I thought, that light pulse first of all disengage and kind of sawing them out was absolutely amazing. He got that 4-man ultimate on them, getting that 2-man stun. Unfortunately, Equalizer wasn't able to actually hit as many targets as they wanted to. And the moment I saw the Equalizer not hit the Kaisa and that Smolder, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'm really scared right now because they're very healthy, and Related has used a lot of his kick to try and dissuade them, and so has Light Pulse. Light Pulse got taken down. They lost a lot of their front line, but then Mike Young immediately countering, going straight onto that Kaisa.
Yep.
Really good focus. Kaisa didn't have heal or flash up on that fight though, which is now she does have heal and flash up for the next fight. But regardless, he took a really good shutdown, and I think right now, if they keep playing the way that they're playing, UCI is going to be in that.
Absolutely, and we're trying to find another pick on a Sour here. World Ender is popped. Cinnamon Bread is a threat right now. Irvine was 4,000 gold down. Now they sit 2,000 gold ahead. They have played this game phenomenally going into these last 10 minutes of the game. They're marching forward. A lot of pings going on here. We have the Equalizer ready to drop. There it is. The members of the front line drop. The engage from Light Pulse finds a stun and a knock-up onto 2. Good shot trying to find his way out of there. Gorka is in the back line all alone. Curtain Call is available. He may be able to join for now, but Mike Young on the front is dropping. He's going to go down. That's 1 for 1. They shut down Smolder, but they lose their Mike Young. Hang on. An insane engage from Jungle Barber onto the back line of Irvine is not at all good for Irvine is what you want to see there. The gold is evened up. Dragon is in the pockets of Nigel's. This game just took a turn, Renee.
That was a turn. That shows how important one fight can provide for you. That was absolutely insane. I thought that dive was going to go scot-free and perfect. We've had all of our summoner spells up. They're chilling. They got the Smolder out. Smolder had flash. He didn't even want to use it. Wow. But then immediately Jungle Barber getting the absolutely insane E onto 2 of their carries is going to provide disaster. And that's also going to be Soul going over for NLT.
That's tough. Soul in this comp, right, they have a lot of heals already. They have Aatrox, Zac, and Maokai. Their front line is large and in charge of this game, absolutely. Ocean Drake is only going to make that worse. Now somebody on Irvine, maybe even 2, have to say, oh, guys, all right, who's getting Executioners?
Yeah, and it looks like that answer is going to be Rumble. But honestly, I don't know if Rumble going Executioner is going to be enough this game, because that Equalizer doesn't hit. He doesn't really have a lot of those execution targets, rather than really just Zac and that Aatrox, and maybe Maokai if Maokai wants to go in on that Rumble. Regardless, he's going to get a lot of people, but I think we might also need a Thornmail, but I don't think anyone can even buy it, so I think it's just on to Rumble right now.
It's a tough call. I would think as your solo AP character, you want him to be doing as much damage as possible because you want to punish the enemy team for building armor as much as possible. Morello doesn't do 0 damage as an item, but man, imagine instead of Oblivion Orb, he's going into Rabadons or something, right?
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing, especially since Morello is kind of another option where it's like magic penetration. But as we've been seeing Rumble, he already has Shadow Flame, Void, Leandri's. He does, and also Sork Boots. So you don't really need any more of this, magic penetration or even true damage going on to it. But regardless, I can't really think of any other target for them to have any anti-heal, especially since even if Light Pulse does get it, he's probably going to be taken down really quickly regardless. He is a tank, but he's not like a super big tank, kind of similar or compared to like a Maokai or a Zac. Especially since he doesn't have Locket this game, he's not going to be providing as much tankiness as people would expect.
Yeah, that's fair. And now we see this game dead even in gold, but a soul rests in the pockets of Nigel's last tiles. They're marching down mid, taking this inner turret. UCI do have Cinnamon Bread on the bot side, trying to apply some pressure, but it's tough right now.
Yeah, looks like they're only going to be sending Sour back for Cinnamon Bread, maybe one more person, but I think right now UCI has a read that they're probably going to want to stall them into this Rumble. A lady does pop that Equalizer up in that top lane, but right now they're doing the fight onto Sour and Cinnamon Bread.
The healing is going to be insane here from Sour with Elias in the backside as well. I'm not sure there's much Cynic can do. A nice W there, gets him some distance. He's trying to cut it out, but I get the feeling it doesn't matter. We've reached late game Aatrox with Ocean Soul. I mean, we're not going to do much to him at all.
Not going to do much indeed, and I also think UCI did use almost like all of his entire kit trying to stop him, and it doesn't look like they have taken a single bit of damage there at all. Cinnamon Bread, unfortunately, having, he does still have TP up, but you know, Smolder doesn't have TP up either, so maybe he can do that play again and maybe go for a real 1v1. But right now it's looking really, really tough.
Yeah, Ocean Soul is one of those things that just really sways the tide of a game entirely of the favor of the team, of course. Light Pulse is not so tanky in the eyes of this level 17 Smolder either. We've reached this point. We're talking about the engage from Jungle Barber does come out. They're looking to explode Mike Young, and he drops very, very quickly. Half health, but he's actually going to find himself out of there. Mom is called in. Unfortunately, it goes a bit narrow, and it's a field goal, not hitting anyone. Light Pulse fall to Elias as well, and just UCI have no ground to stand on. They have no engage. They have no opportunity here.
Yeah, we saw, you know, as stuff was going to be saying, especially since I'm pretty sure Jin Zhao does get a bit outscaled later on. He is just like early game and mid game champion. Right now, he's kind of going to be based off of like, are his items good enough? But UCI is doing a lot of damage, but right now I think their only damage is kind of elated and maybe Cinnamon Bread. But even we've been seeing it takes Cinnamon Bread a lot of agency and a lot of autos to try and just kill one person, especially someone who should be quote-unquote behind.
Yeah, they're still playing into the split push as well. Senna is bot side, no TP. He TP'd down there, as a matter of fact. So he's just going to try to do as much damage as he can to this base. A lot of members of Nigel's are here. I believe all 5 of them are still out on the map. Senna has an opportunity to even end the game here, but Aatrox did find that TP back home. 3,000 health on the Baron is dropping low. Does go over to Nigel's as they take it. The engage here from Jungle Barber as well. He's going to be losing some health to Elated, but it's not enough as he still stands. Mom comes in, and Elated gets shut down. That is the main damage member from Irvine fallen. And jeez, the Void Seeker from Kaisa is insane. Gorka has no counterplay. He's going to fall immediately. The Light Pulse does so as well, and that looks like we may spell the end of the game here. 50 seconds on these death timers, Renee.
Oh my gosh, that was disgusting. Talia's, I think, an interesting ban, just because I think Talia is, once again, she's one of those people where you only pick Talia when you see like a certain comp.
Okay.
Right? Well, not only, but she's really good against certain comps, and some comps she has like not a lot of agency. But regardless, I think it's a good ban to take off the table, just in case maybe if UCI is going for, like if they want to go for Xin Zhao again.
Yeah. We'll have to wait, unfortunately. And last ban coming out here. Things are standard so far. An Akali ban is something that's usually seen in the second round of bans. It's not something that teams love to just like pick in the first 3 picks. It's more of an answer. You know, when the situation is right, we can pick it up. No doubt seeing a Rumble ban against the lane.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially that Karma ban against Light Pulse.
Yeah.
Once again, I love Redemption Rush on Enchanter Karma right now. I think it's super strong, so I can't wait to see it. I think right now UCI is probably looking for, since they're banning out mid lanes, I think we're going to be playing for mid. That's like maybe a guess that's going to be happening. Right now we're already hovering over that Sun, picking Sun I mean. Sun's usually pick ban, first pick ban regardless. She's absolutely insane on ADC or support. You can go this like lethality build or cripple as always. Lethality provides a lot of movement speed, damage, and survivability. So like why wouldn't you run it? And right now we're also going Varus on Misfit, one of the best ADCs by far in this game. Yeah. Absolutely disgusting. The moment he hits you with an R, it doesn't matter what build he's running, you're getting one shot and you're dead.
It's true. You either got like 1,000 little arrows stabbing you at once, or one big one, which is going to do 1,000 damage. But Varus Nico is, I don't even care about Varus Nico. Senna Top. Okay. This is a UCI staple. Light Pulse and Gorka have run this time and time again. They've performed so well on it. It's an aggressive lane. It's a good lane. You scale with Senna. It's a lot of survivability. I like it. I'm in.
Feasting Senna is one of my absolutely favorite builds for Senna, other than Senna Seraphine. So I really like how it is. It has really good roaming potential. Okay. It also has really good early lane pressure. You have a lot of kill potential in that lane as well. I also like how in the mid game she's very safe. Tahm Kench usually, always people see Tahm Kench like, oh, he's going to W in. But most likely Tahm Kench is going to be playing a peel role here. Yeah. Especially looking at what Misfits is hovering, because let's say Senna gets ultimate, well then Tahm Kench is just going to eat Senna. Like that's just what's going to happen, or eat any of the major carries in this. But Quincy, right now I'm seeing Nico, Brand, and Varus. Already, you might be saying, well, a lot of AP, but like, where do we think we're going here? I think maybe I love to see Nico support. I just think Nico support's really strong, but also Nico mid is absolutely insane. Really good level 3, really good level 6. But Brand?
Yeah, okay, so there's a lot of different options here, which I think is a great draft from Misfits thus far. You can go Nico mid, Nico support. You can go Brand support, Brand jungle.
Oh, maybe. Brand jungle.
My mind would tell me, though, it's Brand support, Nico mid.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing right now.
I'll agree with you right there for now. I kind of want to see what more we have. Okay. I know Brand Jungle is like something that's very popular. I also know it's very popular in like high elo, LCS, and solo queue. I know it has really fast jungle clear time. Okay. You're also able to gank really easily. You just EQ someone, and that's already a free stun. But also, I think it has a pretty slow reaction time. So, I mean, it's slow, so you have a fast reaction time to like a lot of time to react. Gotcha. There we go, Renee. Okay. Come on, words are hard. And right there we see Braum. Interesting. I've actually never seen Braum. I feel like
Interesting.
Braum is like one of those supports. I'm like, he exists. Like, you just think he's cool because he has a really cool mustache.
Yeah.
But like, regardless, I think we might be seeing a Varus Braum lane, which something I feel like I've actually never seen before.
Yeah, I would have totally thought we already had our support picked out of Brand and Nico. Both of those can go support, but why not a third, right? Let's pick the
Yeah.
Braum. I'm not sure. Normally you pick Braum, obviously for the E. We're blocking key skill shots like Ashe ults, like, playing it into Zeri, something like that. Into Senna TK, it doesn't strike me as a terrific pick, but maybe there's some logic I'm not seeing there.
I think the logic is just because like you can stun and disengage.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. Braum does have his ultimate, which is also another knockup, so that can buffer Tom Kench's engage, the Xin Zhao engage as well, which I think is going to be really good here. I think right now Braum has, especially looking at the draft right now, Braum is actually a really good pick. We're able to block the Jace poke, the Syndra poke, the Syndra ultimate. The Syndra ultimate goes on the back line. I think also it blocks the Senna R damage. Not 100% sure on that.
Okay.
We might have to look at how it looks in game. Regardless, I think it's a pretty good peel pick for the rest of their team, especially since they don't have, I would say, like the biggest tank up front line. Especially since right now we have a bruiser top lane with Camille. So I think right now we're probably going to be playing for our mid lane and top lane. That's what I'm seeing right now. Just as Feasting Senna is strong regardless, and I think they might be able to do well on their own, especially since they are on that blue side. But like, what do you think? What do you think? Will people be playing for something here, or just we're going to be moving the map and seeing what hits us?
I think it looked like Misfits is playing for pick, right?
Okay.
We have Varsolt, Camille, absolutely. The
Oh, yeah,
Camille is pretty cool because, right, if you do end up getting that ult onto Senna, then you knock Tahm Kench away and you have a 2-second window to just annihilate that Senna, which I think is absolutely possible. That's a squishy character.
100%.
That seems like their identity to me. We're playing a pick comp, whereas UCI is playing to scale. Let's get Senna really, really strong, and then every time she gets in danger, Tahm Kench pulls her out of there.
Yeah.
That just seems like it to me. Funny you mentioned that, like, Braum's really good against Jace and Syndra.
Okay.
We UCI picked Braum or Jace and Syndra into Braum.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think maybe they just like knew. I feel like they have a secret sixth sense because I think on paper, right? On paper, Braum is good, right?
Okay.
But I actually don't think he's like super good into this comp because his E's only going to be up for so long.
Okay.
Right? And also, you said you have this agency of pick. I feel like right now UCL has a lot of poke, but we also have a lot of pick potential.
Yes.
Tahm Kench's W has insane range. UCI later, especially with the recent Jace buffs that went on in 14.4, they're going to be doing a shiz ton of damage. But right now, it looks like we're going into that top lane right now.
This is an interesting one. We've never seen so many members top side this early in the game, but we've got 4 members strong on Irvine. The flash tongue is not going to hit anybody, unfortunately. But that's a flash on Camille mid. This is interesting. We haven't seen, like, ever multiple members go top, and then this game, they both do it? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, I'm not too sure as well. I also think, Quincy, I'm not too sure if it's actually Camille mid. I think maybe the tab might be a little bit bugged. We apologize for that. But I think right now we're moving it as we speak, and I think it's going to be Nico mid, and then Varus ADC, Braum support, but also like I would love to see a Braum ADC because his autos look so cool.
Remember when crit Braum?
Yeah, in 14.5, next patch we're going to be getting the rune hands, But regardless of that, yeah, I think right now Jace is going to have a lot of range, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage, especially on a lot of their really squishy opponents. And I think if Braum like plays kind of unfortunately and mispositions a lot, I think UCI is going to be able to capitalize on that mispositioning, which is going to be very key here. Especially though Gorka is going for the Ghost, and they're going for like the Tahm Kench going TP, but I think something that's going to be interesting. I thought maybe they would be going for a more aggressive lane, especially considering like they do have the damage for it, but it is Feasting Senna. So I think right now they're going to be playing maybe weak side, maybe letting them push up to them rather than trying to take on a lot of fights.
Yeah, I guess so. I would have totally thought, exhaust or something on the Tahm Kench or maybe on Senna, but we're rocking with it. I'm with you. So how do we think this bot lane goes? Obviously, it looks like Gorka's doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah, definitely. I think right now pre-6 is going to go over to Gorka and Lightpulse.
Okay.
Just because I feel like right now, like, Braum can go in with like a W, but I think right now Braum is going to be playing this like disengage, peel type of carry where like if Tahm Kench goes in, then he's going to just W his carry and then, get that stack on them for that stun.
Okay.
It looks like Mahono right now is just putting in a lot of pressure trying to see where they are going, even though that ward is going to be expiring right now. Also, we did talk about Tahm Kench exhaust. I actually don't know if Tahm Kench has really good exhaust targets this game. I think his really only exhaust target is maybe like Varus and Camille, because I feel like Brand has a lot of continuous damage.
Okay.
Nico, I feel like you don't see Nico until she's like in your face.
Right.
So I feel like him not going exhaust is good. but also I could see another potential for Ignite and also the potential for Exhaust. But this TP allows him to play a kind of macro role, especially right now. They're going Feasting Senna, of course, and if you guys don't know what Feasting Senna is, essentially where Tom Kench takes the farm and Senna gets the gold from the support item for Bloodsong, which is an absolutely insane item. It did get nerfed this patch, only by 1% of damage, but it's still one of her best items regardless. And with that, Senna also gets the gold from her souls. So that's essentially like the idea of Feasting Senna.
Absolutely. We're going to get a little bit of a trade here. Taking over to level 3. Got an advantage here. Wonderful movement here coming out of Gorka, as you said. And as predicted, this probably will absolutely go in their favor pre-6. But this level 6 is pretty strong, right? Varus and Braum ults are nuts. But Brand clearing faster than Shinzao. Classic. He's going to get to that scuttle first. Mike Young's probably going to hightail it down to that bot lane scuttle if I had to guess. I mean, look at that damage. He just one-shot scuttle.
Yeah, definitely. That's actually insane damage. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting it. I've never really seen a Brand jungle, honestly. Like, I have seen it in pro play, but usually not a lot. Junglers don't get a lot of love when you're getting the spectate because, like, they're just farming camps until they do a lot of it. So I've actually never seen, like, in real time how much damage it does. You just know that he has a fast wave. Fair enough. Fast clear speed. But I really like how this Camille's putting the pressure on Elated. We've seen in the first game, Elated puts a lot of pressure onto that top lane. Especially since usually like Elated has like that range advantage, you would think so. But you know, Camille's putting in the work, especially since Camille's going Doran's Blade and not Doran's Shield. So I'm expecting a lot of damage and probably some early fights in this top lane.
Yeah, can't wait. No ignites on either member up in this top side, so nobody has like giga kill pressure, but you know, we're Jace Camille. We're gonna get into some scrapping for sure, but hang on. Gorka is making his way up into the top side of the map. This is an interesting one.
Yeah, but Mike Young is all the way in the bot side of the map. I'm not too sure what's going on here. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's just being a kind player and warding for him. I do see a fun little ping. I wonder what's going on in those comms. Regardless, I think maybe they're just trying to set up for both objectives, and they can flow with which one, especially since Light Pulse does have TP. He'll be able to TP on a ward, but he'll be able to TP to the lane. Yeah. And especially, once again, they don't have a lot of kill agency down in the spot lane. Honestly, on both sides currently right now. So I think playing for objectives here is going to be the key, especially since Senna is going to do a lot of damage. But right now, speaking of a lot of damage, Varus already has a recurve bow, and Senna just has a longsword. So, wow. We never know what's going to be happening, especially since we're leaving Light Pulse defenseless in that bot lane already going for the MR rather than armor.
That is interesting. We do see a lot of, Varus does an amount of magic damage, right? The W, the Blight does do magic damage, but the rest of Misfits as well for sure.
Be the key, especially since Senna is going to do a lot of damage. But
we're not going to for now. Gorka level 3 is not strong, right? Particularly, but maybe that's just how we're rocking for now. We're gonna play
also
with these early objectives. A flash coming in on Mike Young, looking to secure the stun. We do find it. The flash route from Nico, looking for some damage as well. That's gonna be one kill going down. I doubt they'll go any further. Senna is not level 6 yet. Damage coming over, but we're gonna be A-okay.
That was really unfortunate. I misspoke there just a little bit where Gorka actually took Cinnamon Bread's XP. I think that actually caused Cinnamon Bread not to get level 6 there because Gorka was like kind of leeching off that XP curve, and especially since they didn't have the XP curve, they don't have the level advantage. Mike Young also didn't have the level advantage. He was level 4, Brand level 5. I think right there that was just a really unfortunate fight that they probably should have given up. Especially since if they were going to rotate, I probably would have rotated with Tom Kench and not only Gorka. But regardless now, it looks like we're going to have maybe a little skirmish on the bot lane.
Yeah, Leppo's looking for some damage. Not quite finding that knockup to get in there, but Nico being here might spell disaster for Irvine. Lightpulse does fall. Gorka does not, but, technically, Lightpulse, that's the one with the gold.
Yeah, unfortunate. He is the one with the gold indeed. 47 to 53 right now, as I would expect because he is melee versus range. That was a really good rotation from that Nico, especially because she doesn't really miss a lot of that farm up in that mid lane because once again she was up in that XP and she did push the wave even before she went down there. I'm a bit confused though right now on like how we're playing this map, but let me hold that thought real quick as Big Hill is just sitting in that lane bush. Lane ganks are the future, everyone.
He's in a great spot, takes over to level 6-2. Camille has the Hextech ultimatum, trying to find a lockdown, just waiting for the right moment to jump onto Elated. It's tricky. Elated's playing so well behind these minions, but he doesn't even know it.
So much patience. Oh my god.
Dodging to kill the flash. Hextech ultimatum will come through. The CC is just too much. The damage to top it off.
Oh
Bake
my
up.
gosh. Quincy, I actually got scared there a little bit. I was like, we're setting the mood and it's very quiet. And then all of a sudden, Flash
Like
R
they got tired of
immediately
waiting.
into a humongous wave of minions. Camille does not care because she knows that Brand is there to help them. Brand did commit the ultimate there. You know, he's not going to, he knows that like we need to do all the damage we can to take down Elated. And that's going to be really unfortunate, especially going in the future of this top lane. Looking at our gold graph real quick, people aren't too far ahead, too far, not behind except for that, you know. As you can see the spot lane, but the gold is distributed very unevenly and very weird. But essentially right now, Senna does have the serrated Dirk, which is a really good power spike component. But it might not be enough right now to put them where they want to be. Especially looking at the top lane, we are right now a whole item component behind. So really, especially for that jungle, only 3 longsword versus almost completely Andres. Haunting Guys is already purchased.
Yeah, this brand is looking to be a powerhouse so far. Senna as well, getting it handed to him in the mid lane just a little bit. I like the answer there from UCI, right? They said, okay, whoa, Brand's top, quick, go to Dragon ASAP. We're going to get that, pick up something, right? Something we can hold on to.
Soul is super important right now, as we've been seeing in a lot of these games. Soul does, it provides a lot more for your team than you would expect, and I do think UCI might be playing towards Soul here rather than Grubs, just because I don't really see a lot of split push agency. I also don't see a lot of just like push in general on UCI. Elated can side lane, but I don't even think Elated will be side laning as much this game as we expect, because he has a lot of range and a lot of damage that they will need in fights. Whereas Camille, I believe, is going to be one of the side lane demons that we're going to be seeing in this game, where they're going to have to send maybe 2 or 3 people to try and get her off their turret.
Absolutely. And this kind of theme of this game so far has been, it looks like Misfits' solo laners. Hang on, engage. Whoa, the ult does fine, but this is where Tom Ken shines. Oh, you caught Senna? Good thing I don't care. We're just going to gobble her up and dish out some damage on the back end. Gorka going to get some stacks out of that, and that's 2 ults gone from the side of Misfits.
Oh, the Q doesn't land. Sorry, I was holding my breath there a little. I was kind of scared. You know, Leda is pushing in on this top lane. It looks like we might have a little bit of a skirmish here. Possibly. I'm not too sure. I think right now we're just going to let it rest. But once again, we talked about how the moment Misfits team Varus Braum get that level 6, it's going to spell kill pressure. And they went for it immediately. But right now, I think it did catch him out a little bit there, but right now they're very
What a sweep there. We are going to spot out Mike Young. The hook shot not quite going to land. And then Senna ult as well is a lot of health bar advantage here for Irvine. But Mike Young got exploded. But did you find a double kill onto Elated? Where did that damage come from?
I'm not too sure. It might have been the true damage on that double Camille Q. But regardless, I was actually shocked at how much damage that had. Simmerbread right now, he does miss that E. So it looks like Simmerbread does have the kill advantage here, possibly. Oh my god, it's so scary. They're just waiting on each other. But right now, it looks like Braum's going to be trying to help Mohano in any way that they can.
Indeed, indeed. Something I wanted to touch on. This whole theme of the game, right, has, like, Misfits' solo lanes have seemed strong. But glancing at the scoreboard, UCI is up like 30 CS in both lanes, which is wonderful for them. This really spells how consistent these laners are in lane. They are going to find the stun onto Braum. Get it into a root. It finds 2 into a knock-up. Not going to find any Pop Blossom. Gets them out of there for now. But you see Irvine are here to bring the pain a little bit.
Yeah, but did you see, I don't think Braum took a lot of damage there.
Not at all.
So that E went all the way down. So and that's what we're looking like right now. I'm actually very scared to see when Seta is going to be start maxing out and Braum's going to be stacking up on those tank items. But regardless, you know, I didn't think that they're actually going to be fighting Grubs here, especially because, you know, I was like, oh, like they already have 3 people down there.
Right.
Brand already has Leon trees. But they also don't have ultimates right now to fight Grubs. I think that was a really good push into Grubs, which I really enjoy. So right now, like, I think right now UCI is playing the map very well.
Absolutely. They're doing a good job of keeping up for now. It's just something about this game feels like Misfits is in the driver's seat, right? They're the one kind of dictating how these plays are going, but UCI is holding on. We now find ourselves in an advantage, right? We've gotten 3 Grubs and a Dragon.
Yeah, 2 to 4. You see 2 to 4, and you're like, oh, they have double our kills, right? But like 2 to 4, double. Like, chill, let's chill. But Lipos right now currently defenseless down here in this bot lane. 3 people down the bot lane versus trying to push the wave. But remember, guys, Lipos currently does not have any defensive summoner souls. Flash is gone. TP is currently not up. I mean, where can he TP to? But regardless, it also does hit.
Does land. The TP is well committed. They want to secure this kill in any way they can. The Abyssal Dive not quite going to land. 4 members deep for Misfits down in the bot lane. They wanted that frog dead. They clogged him back.
They wanted him dead, but that puts Camille on an advantage. But right now, I think Senna should probably be staying here because I think first turn advantage here for that 1 kill might be important. But it doesn't. Oh, Camille used TP. I forgot. Oh my gosh, my brain. So it does look like they will be getting that first turn right there.
That's the triple.
But look at that. Look at that CS right there, Quincy. You talked about this earlier. 122 to 66. That's absolutely insane. That's maybe like 1 or maybe 2 kills of CS worth like gone. So I would say right now we're very, very even Steven in this top lane.
Yeah, and this is where if it continues like this later into the game, sure, Camille's 3 kills now, but if Elated continues to do this magnificent job of keeping the CS lead, that's when you see the gold difference start to really come through.
Yeah, definitely. And already Elated has his first item component. I mean, full first item, which is absolutely insane. 1 item to 1 item. Dragon's coming up in around, I would say, like 30 or 40 seconds right now on the board. Camille does have the Triforce up. We have flashes up on almost everyone for Misfits except for that Braum and that Brand. We also have a lot of flashes up though for UCI Esports. I'm going to assume that Mike Young is going to be flashing straight onto the carry here, ulting so that Brand cannot peel.
Hook shot finds onto Mike Young, but the counter engage on the Baco drops him immediately 1-1 so far. Brand and Xin Zhao have dropped. Pop Blossom not finding out a 2-man. Needs a great flash from Gorka, slides him out of there. Sentinel coming through. The shields are too strong. Light Pulse gobbling up Elated for now. There's so much shielding and support from the comp of Irvine that there's nothing Misfits can do for now. Looks like Dragon is going to go completely in our favor.
That was so well played, Quincy. We talked about the flashes, and the flashes really proved useful there, right there. And especially Light Pulse, that was such an amazing reactive time to be like, hey, you know what, I'm just going to eat Elated. Gorka safe. I know that he's safe. Let's keep pushing on our pressure. The Pop Blossom didn't really hit any important targets there, which I think maybe was a deciding factor, but regardless, I think they played that really well. And Mike Young went straight for that Brand. I don't even think Brand had any time to react. He didn't even have his flash up. Really well played.
That was the Uno reverse for sure.
Definitely.
Brand got
oh my gosh.
deleted as soon as Mike Young dropped in. Gorka coming in with the damage as well. As you brought up about those flashes, he barely flashed out of that Pop Blossom, which really dissuaded the entire course of the team fight for Misfits. Now we have 2 Dragons for the side of Irvine. This is looking to be a good game.
Yeah, we're opting for this attack speed build on Varus rather than lethality, which I'm not going to lie, I'm not too much of a fan of. The only reason why I say I'm not a fan of it, specifically in just this scenario, is I think the damage is going to be good. He's going to get Bork, he has Ghost, he has a lot of, you know, kite potential, but I honestly don't know if he's actually going to be able to go in range of people to start autoing. It's kind of like this idea of like when you go on Misfortune, you're like, do I go lethality or crit here because like am I going to be able to go in range to auto? I think the same thing does fall in line, a bit in line for Varus, but regardless, it does provide a lot of agency, whereas Senna right now already has Youmu's and Bloodsong, so they're going to be doing a lot of damage and they're going to have a lot of mobility.
I couldn't agree more. That's what feels so bad sometimes about playing as a mobile AD carries. As we drop some damage to their mid lane, it's like all you have to do is get in there and auto attack, right? You do a lot of damage if you auto attack, but how is Varus expected to auto attack when there's Jace, Syndra, and Senna on the enemy team?
Yeah, definitely, especially if Xin Zhao's just going to be going straight for the Varus, which
Yes.
I'm honestly going to be expecting. If not, I'm honestly think that you can play Xin Zhao in this kind of peel way with his ultimate, but regardless, he has a lot of targets that he can just lock onto, and it's going to be super hard for them to even go in range to auto. So can you imagine that for right now? Gorka just doing a little bit of damage onto that, getting that Bloodsong, but no one can proc the other bit of it just yet.
Trying to find something. Scout of the week, not quite going to find that stun. Gorka's playing such a pesky playstyle, right? He's kind of wherever he wants to be, dishing out damage. Braum drops to just 100 HP there.
Ult's not up just yet. He doesn't ult up. Maybe he's going to go for like a fun snipe. No, maybe? Okay, no. He's not going to take the risk.
That would have been hype.
It would have been hype, but if I going on the top lane right now.
Yeah, Mike Young finds himself in the middle of 2 elated. Delete Baco.
Okay.
This is why we don't give elated gold.
He's just good.
He's just good.
Wow, and he flashes little Mastery 7 tokens. Cinderbin Bread getting that return kill onto the Varus. Right now, UCI is playing this map in their favor so well, Quincy. I'm absolutely loving it. Right now, we are currently 2 dragons in our pocket, 3k gold up. We said, you know what, like, yeah, they got a bit of kills on us in the first half, but like right now, we're going to be utilizing everything that we can. We're popping the Rift Tower down in that top lane. That's going to be that outer tower already being taken down. This is going to be a lot of pressure that Misfits has to respond to, but they currently don't even have members up to respond.
Yeah, the ball's rolling. I mean, look at this. We've taken down 4 turrets in the favor of Irvine 3, excuse me. 5,000 gold up. Herald has knocked down this top tower. 2 dragons in the pocket. It's looking good, but certainly losable.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of things that they can do right now. I was looking at their comp, and I was thinking, wow, like Misfits has a lot of AoE, right?
Yeah.
So if they just get like that perfect zone, and maybe just like a Pop Blossom and a Brand R, that's gonna, or maybe like a Varus R Brand R. There's just so many ways that they can engage or counter, disengage, regardless that they can do and utilize their AoE to their advantage. So I honestly think it can go in anyone's favor. Whereas I feel like UCI has a lot of single target demolish.
Okay.
Which is really good. Don't get us wrong. They have a lot of squishy targets, but there are itemizations in this game. You can itemize in a lot of different ways. Senna most likely is going to be going for Edge and Knife so she doesn't get caught out in any of these ways. But just in case, they can also go, you know, Verdant Veil. They can start going for Zanya's. Also has a lot of AP. 120 AP with a lot of defensive is so good.
Absolutely. And as we kind of slow things down again, right? No objectives on the map. Nobody's going to go crazy and make plays we don't need to for now. We're going to slow things down unless I'm sorely mistaken. As we're teleporting bot lane, Baco loses a lot of his HP, but it's so dangerous. The Pop Blossom finds one that's elated. He's worth so much gold, and he looks like he's going to go down. But he gets gobbled up by Lipos. The shield saves him. The shutdown not quite claimed by Misfits. Now the ball is in Irvine's park. Gorka finds the first one, stuns onto Braum as well. Look to be another kill for Irvine. A nice flash. Mike Young not quite able to clean that one up. Only one kill over to Irvine there. What a devour.
That was so beautiful, Quincy. Like, I feel like my eyes have been blessed. I don't know if you saw it there real quick. I thought Gorka was 100% getting hit by that Nico. And as I say Nico, maybe he might know. Oh, he's just going to, get the clone, skedaddle his way through. But I don't know if you saw the light post is like, it's like Gorka's fancy feet to dodge that Pop Blossom. I was shocked. I was like, oh, he's definitely getting hit here. But he didn't get hit. And then immediately light post going into Flash. Flash TP, by the way. TP Flash onto Elated to help him and save him, which is a sliver of HP.
Wow.
That was so well played, and also they don't lose that Elated shutdown, which is so important for them to get ahead. Really well played, super beautiful. I'm just like in shock and awe.
Getting that pick there would have been one of the things that bring Misfits back into this game. But hang on, speak of a pick onto the important character, they do just that and into the pocket who you want. That is straight into Varus's pocket. Scout of the week stunning Baco, but now Irvine suddenly find themselves in a dire position, and that might be Dragon giving up.
It might be, I think. I'm looking at our ultimates right here. We do have Mike Young ultimate. We have Senna who can probably burst down one of the people here, but I honestly think that they're just going to be giving this up and push in that mid lane for a lot more pressure. But, this is also an objective bounty for Misfits, so this gold lead is going to start getting slower and lower and lower as they go, especially since, as again, they got a 700 gold bounty. I think actually a 1,000 gold bounty to Varus.
Oh, yeah, a lot of eyes just shifted in the direction of Varus. Hang on, we're looking for something.
Oh, eyes are shifting indeed for Varus.
We're looking for something sneaky.
Oh, Senna? Is he going to go for it? Does he know?
Not yet. But I meant eyes on Varus in terms of he just got a lot of gold, right?
Yeah.
He's now the carry for Misfits, I think. And he has the potential. This on-hit Varus could do a lot of damage into Tahm Kench, into Xin Zhao. Going to be interested to see how he does in the late game. Hook shot slides Camille on out of there. But, okay, late game. Or last game I asked you the same question.
Okay.
Who do you think takes the cake late game?
Late game. It's so hard because I feel like in both of these games, it's like, okay, you can see the potential of how they win. Okay. But it's really how they execute it. But right now, I would just say, looking at comp-wise, I think UCI Esports has the late game in their bag simply because I'm going to say Elated, Senna, Agorica. And that's why, because they have a lot of range, a lot of single kill agency, and also a lot of supporting that they can do. It's just like a good combination of both. Honestly, I've heard recently that people actually don't like Syndra. Oh, I thought that was actually the real Nico. My bad, y'all. But I heard that people don't really like Syndra because they don't think that she's maybe that strong or anything. But I actually think Syndra is super strong and she has a really good disengage potential that I think is like really important that people kind of sleep on a lot.
I agree with that. Syndra isn't picked nearly as much as she was last season, right? Since these new items came out, there's just better mages.
Definitely.
But she holds that same value she always has. Great disengage, even pick potential, right? Yeah. Just finding that straight E out of nowhere can be so useful. Misfits' comp has so much damage.
Yeah.
And I think that's something to be terrified of later into this game. But I do agree. I think UCI has a really solid late game comp.
Yeah, I just keep thinking of like the itemization that they can go to like negate Misfits.
Okay.
In a way, because once again, like if they get, let's say Varus ults, right? But then, right now we already see Tahm Kench having that QSS built. I think that was like one of his like first items other than Bomby Cinder. Yeah. So and that's why he doesn't get picked off, or when he goes in, he doesn't get CC'd immediately and like get that stun lock. I feel like once again, like if Gorka just goes Edge of Night right now, but like a little fight is going down here in the bot lane. Pull that off.
Find the hook shot, but Mike Young is here with the counter engage. And later drops low. Pop Blossom does slam onto Mike Young, but he loses 0 HP because his ultimate is active. Cinnamon Bread is going to have Scout of the week here. Not sure if we did get it there as we have another pick in the mid lane. Abyssal Dive, not quite going to find the knockup, but Gorka marching forward, maybe a little bit too far as this drops low, but nope, that's what Tahm Kench is for. But the brand damage is ticking, finds onto both members. Gorka drops low. He is going to live though. Cinnamon Bread is here to pick up the kills. Braum, no E available. He is going to drop, and Cinna with perfect timing on this re-engage. Does find a kill. Flash forward. He wants more. Baco dodging and weaving the best he can. E is available. Flashes over the sun, but Mike Young here in the back. But you might ask where he came from, but he landed. That's a teleport. Wait, no, it's not. How did he let it get here?
I think he just ran. He's just that fast. He does have movement speed. Quincy, that fight, I can't keep saying about that, like how beautiful fights are, but that fight I think really showed us, like, okay, remember we're talking about late game, we're talking about how do they win. That fight literally showed us 2 fights in which they could have won. We saw one fight where they have really good kill agency, really good solo kill agency. And then we also saw another fight where they have a lot of good AoE, and Light Pulse, although trying to negate as much as he could from that damage, I'm pretty sure if all those Brand ultimates hit Gorka there, he was smoked. Like, there was nothing he could have done, regardless of all the support that he was providing for him. And right now, we see that Edge and I being built just like we thought. Once again, I don't really like the Varus pick here going for attack speed. I think lethality Varus would have been better here, especially for like the comps that they could have won. But regardless, Light Pulse going in, probably getting caught out.
The strike speed is a little ambitious. Light Pulse going in very, very deep. Elite was a bit far behind, but the damage is not there to kill Light Pulse at this point in the game. Mike Young fears nothing as he dashes into 3. They blow up Baco immediately. And this is just, they're keeping this ball rolling. The momentum, the tempo is in UCI's favor. They're doing such a great job of keeping it going.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't even think Mike Young took damage. Like, he took some burn damage after Brand died, but regardless, the initial burst damage that I was expecting was completely gone and wasted. Now Gorka's providing a lot of, supporting utility here, and Cinnamon Bread is doing a lot of damage from that backline. Here's, I think, where lethality Varus would have really shined, because, that Q probably, instead of like 200 damage, did 500, 600.
Engage from Camille here. Pop Blossom flashes onto the 2 key members of
Oh
Irvine.
my God.
They look to fall. Scout of the Week knocks them back, but how much longer can you live? Senna doing as much damage as he can before he drops. Does a significant amount as Mike Young flashes forward, trying to find Nico, but she goes golden, staying alive for just a little bit longer, but Elated has arrived, and that probably spells the end for Misfits if I had to guess. They're marching forward. 2 flashes committed for Misfits to get them out. Nothing claimed here from Irvine. Misfits gets out of there. That was a heist.
Yeah, that if we're looking at that fight exactly, but actually I can hold that thought as Mike Young is going in for another double douse, but it looks like he's going to be taken down, unfortunately, before that Braum lives on 1 HP. Brand is there to help his teammate out, but Light Pulse getting that return kill because he says, hey, don't take my road down.
That's
I'm
the
just saying right now.
Tom Kent.
But regardless, that fight, I think, went really well for both teams, honestly.
Yeah.
I would say for Misfits, they did get a lot of really good shutdowns, which is really important for them. It went on some really good characters, but once again, like, I think I was going to say it again, I just don't really see the impact. Varus is such a good ADC. He will always be good, no matter what you do, no matter what build, no matter what I'm saying right now. Just everyone here should know Varus is always going to be good. He's insane. I just think he could be better if we had that lethality build. But once again, maybe I could be wrong here. I'm looking straight at our gold graph, like, look at that top lane. Oh my gosh. Brain. Let's do some math here, Quincy.
5,000 gold. More. 5,500 gold
Disgusting.
advantage in
Disgusting.
favor of Elated. That is maybe one of the biggest gold leads I've ever seen. Camille's finishing her 2nd item. Elated is working on his 4th.
Oh my god, that's absolutely insane. And looking just like at all of our itemization build, I think right now Misfits is forced to build a lot of these like defensive items. We see Locket first buy, we see Zanya second buy, and right now I think Camille is she's probably not going for Ravenous. It's the other one, which Titanic.
Most likely.
Yeah, I can't remember. But right now, look at this. We have Senna building absolutely straight damage. Gorka, Edge of Night is another just like straight damage item, which I think is really going to be key here. And Lipos already has the Frozen Heart, which is going to be so good against this attack speed Varus.
Oh, Corrupt Chains do find Elated. He's going to drop low. He's doing as much damage as he can. That's that attack speed Varus we're seeing doing a lot of damage. Unfortunately, not much for Mike Young when he has the ult up. Senna ult not enough to save Mike Young for now. They're on the back foot. Senna waiting patiently on the sidelines. Scout of the Week finds nothing but a clone. A wonderful pick from Misfits there as UCI got a little ambitious.
Yeah, Misfits really proved me wrong on that attack speed Varus. He was really putting in the work there. But I think right now, once again, we're seeing Misfits' true win condition, and that is, I'm just going to ult you and you're going to get stun CC'd. I have a lot of AoE. I have a lot of damage from afar away. Like, you have to build to help me. Although, Jace did have Edge of Night there. They just proc Edge of Night and immediately they went for him. Maybe it was just because he was caught out. Regardless of that, Misfits really played there and played super well to get those 2 picks. And especially, Xin Zhao's ultimate's not going to be up forever, right?
Right.
So Xin Zhao has to use his ultimate in a way that will last it when the ultimate's up, or else Xin Zhao, I feel like he kind of turns into, I'm not going to say a super useless character, but Xin Zhao does fall off. And I think that's one of his perks of, staying relevant throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
And the moment that's gone, like, he does fall off.
Yeah, he's a great skirmisher. That's in these 2v2 situations, he's immaculate. We saw him and Elated do so much work in the early game up top side. That's why Elated has such a big lead right now. But yeah, Xin Zhao late game, not really what you're looking for out of it in the scaling team comp. So there's one window for Misfits, right? Brand's only going to do more damage. He might be far behind right now, but I think it'll be a lot of damage.
Yeah, I'm really liking right now our second and third item itemization, especially on the spot lane. I talked about, well, how can Varus really like get in there and like stay alive to auto. Right there, he just goes straight for that. Pretty sure that item's called Terminus.
Yes.
Right here from wrong chat. But then we also have Knight's Vow going on to Varus immediately. So Varus is going to have a lot of survivability that we thought he might not have.
We're in a
Oh my gosh, Mahona,
position.
what are you doing right here? Is Myken gonna know? Or maybe
no
he's
idea.
just waiting?
If
Oh
he
my
shows
god.
himself, he
The
dies.
patience.
He can't move a muscle.
Oh, maybe he just doesn't care? Oh, he
Oh,
does care now.
we spot him out. Hey, quick.
Which one?
Question mark pings go left and right. We're not sure which one's the real one. He went down. He fadangled the entire operation. Senna is alone. No stopwatch. There's the flash committed. The damage is just not there to defeat any of these tanky members. Light Pulse does teleport his way down, but I am afraid to say that it's for nothing.
It kind of is for nothing, although Light Pulse is going in on Mahono here. He does have to, waste the Hex Proto buff, but regardless, it's only like a 30-second cooldown, so who really cares right now? It looks like his team is going to be backing him up, but he's trying to get that Edge of Night off of Lorca in order to ult him, but they're going straight in and trying to help him.
A lot of members here. Pop Blossom is going to spell disaster. I can't imagine they do much. TP from Elated has arrived. He's going to dish out as much damage as he can, but there's not much to do into the Braum shield. He's just such a rock. The CC comes through, and he's going to die. Unfortunately, they were able to take that top lane inhib in the meantime, but honestly, I think that was a bad fight. Maybe not a great opportunity to TP in there.
No, for sure. I think right now we're literally seeing the power of Braum right now. That CC is providing so useful right now. I think they're getting CC locked and they really don't have an answer to it. Yes, they, we have Merchants built on Zinzab Rogas. It just might not be enough. Even on Tom Kench, it's built, but it simply might not be enough. And honestly, I don't really know what other answer that they have right here. Senna already has that Edge of Night. That's one answer, right? But also, that's only one ability gone. They have like a million more that they can dish out.
This could be insane. Senna is waiting. The Scatter of the Week comes through, finds one. The Shinzao ult knocks Braum out of the way so that ult hits Varus. That was insane. I could not predict that or write that any better. A wonderful pick there from the combo of Senna and Mike Young.
And that is the pick comp that we were talking about. We just have to play in our bushes. We love our bush cheeses, honestly, and I think our bush cheese is providing a lot of potential for now. Light Pulse going in on the W, but sadly, unfortunately, missing that Braum currently in the corner. Just, trying to get as much vision as possible. Currently, we have the Pop Blossom up. We have Camille with TP up, so she's able to utilize these side lanes as well as possible. Varus will be up in around 20 seconds, so if they want to take Baron, they have to take it now.
And they're doing just that as we start the taking on this Baron. It's dropping quick already at half HP. There's nothing else on the map for Misfits to take, nothing they can do about this. This is a wonderful position to be in if you're Irvine.
A wonderful position indeed. It looks like also Dragon's going to be up in around 30 seconds, so but they have to do a straight beeline to Dragon. I think they might have had enough time to go back, but regardless, I think this is much more better because now they get to push out mid. This is going to force Varus to hopefully clear out this mid wave, or actually they might just give it up completely because they have a lot of pressure on this top lane with those super minions, and if they're expecting them to go to Dragon and they're not a Dragon, that's already one inhib down.
I think that's a wonderful decision. Who cares about Dragon? It gets them literally nothing. One Hextech Drake is nothing. We just took your inhib. The Corrupt Chains do find on a Mike Young. Scout of the Week for that disengage does come through. I can't imagine UCI look for any more here. Camille's backing on the top side. We do ping our way out, but a TP from Camille with an insane flank. I'm not sure where that Nico clone came from. The bottom of the screen. They're looking for the pincer maneuver on UCI Esports. They have nothing to do but march forward into this Camille. Gorka is a little bit alone. It's a really dicey situation. He's a little bit too far out. Dodges the Braum cube. He's got nothing but schmoves on his side. He's going to get out for now. Hook shot. Not going to be committed. They're in such a weird spot. Nico on the bottom as well. This is such an interesting position to be in.
This is so scary.
Scout of the Week comes through from Senna, just waiting the front, but the Pop Blossom on two key members. The damage is too strong for Misfits so far, but Senna explodes Braum. He drops it on the backside. Mike Young trying to take down that's Varus, is not able to do so. That's the on-hit tech. Elated is still alive, full HP. That's a huge member for Irvine. Dragon still stands, going in favor of the Anteaters as well. Gorka marching up on the bottom side, a little bit too far. No, sir. Abyssal dive with the disengage. Do they want out? We can't tell. The shock blades are coming through from Elated. All members of Misfits are low. The TP back from Light Pulse. Dragon resetting. 2,000, 1,000 HP. It's not going to go down. It does go over to Misfits, and Elated falls as well. Abyssal dive secures the kill on to Nico in just 1 second. The damage is not there to find that kill onto Gorka. What an interesting fight we just watched, Renee.
Oh my god, everything happened at once. Everything was so low. There's just so much to talk about. First of all, let's talk about straight up just positioning-wise, right?
Okay.
UCI had to make a decision there. They either have to go and let the Nico go behind them, or they have to fight the Camille, and also the Varus and the Brand who are absolutely running them down. I think what they did there was a really well played. I think going for that Nico and trying to separate them because they have that mobility advantage was the play. But Nico, you know, she was able to just W in and ult two very important members of UCI. Thankfully, Lipos was right there, right next to Gorka, or to eat him up, give him that shield, and swallow him right back out. But then as they're trying to fight that dragon, I think, you know, they're playing this very dicey game of, oh no, like, Brand has a lot of range against us, and I can't hit him right now because our mage is currently gone. UCI later, yeah, I can, you know, shoot some, like, my E's to you, but, you know, I have a big dragon standing in the way, so how am I supposed to get through this barrier? Right. I think, you know, really well played on that positioning, and I think that fight actually, I wouldn't say went in direction of Misfit, but I think that was a fight that's definitely going to put Misfits probably in not that bad of a deficit.
Absolutely. They are 4,000 gold down right now. 2 inhibs as well. Definitely doesn't feel great if you're Misfits. I think they still have the damage in the tank to fight UCI in a clean 5-on-5 right now, but it's how that team fight starts which is going to dictate the entire thing. Right? If they can find the Pop Blossom like they just did in that last fight, except they have maybe Varus in a better position, Brand in a better position to follow up on it, the fight could go their way in a pinch.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree with you. And also, we're talking about gold. Like, super minions are a lot of gold, you know? It's essentially, I'm not saying it's super free farm because you are giving a lot of map pressure away, but it is essentially a free farm for you. And right now, that inhib in the top lane has already been taken down. I'm not going to lie, I understand the play here right now. We're going to put a lot of pressure down in the bot lane, but I actually think we should maybe send 1 or 2 people up on the top lane to, you know, kind of split that pressure since we do have we have a range advantage, especially right now since Varus does have GA, so they have to pop this GA, which is going to be super important for them. But right now, Cinnamon pushing in that mid lane, you know, trying to split and equalize that pressure. Yeah,
I agree. I think putting a little bit of pressure onto that inhib would have made it a lot easier for them to walk up bot lane here, but maybe they don't feel safe to do so. It is tough into like Camille, right, because they can pick you off so easily, but for now, it looks like we're just going to chill, right? There's no dragon up for 2.5 minutes, Baron in 2 minutes as well, so not a lot to fight for.
Yeah, I think right now, Cinna's probably calming, like, guys, I need my rap cap. I need my rap cap. I'm almost so close. Let's just wait it out because I think right now Cinna is going to be one of the key players in this fight. We saw Cinna be able to take down Braum, who's someone who should be super tanky. So if Cinna can, you know, put that ultimate to another player maybe and just, like, and someone can peel the Braum off, that's going to be super important. As we see right now, Cinna going on that top lane. We currently have both TPs up for UCI on a lated Instant Bread, but just as the follow-up for Misfits, we also have both TPs up there. So I think playing the map here is really going to take down to maybe who are we maybe going to catch out first, especially since we talked earlier how UCI is a catch-out type of comp.
Absolutely. It's something we have to look for, so vision is what's going to be important for that. Misfits is doing a good job right now. It's setting up for this Baron, excuse me. It is the first objective. They do spot out Braum for now, but I don't think Braum wants anything to do with that Tom catch.
No, we do have Rap Cap, thankfully, right now on Cinnamon Bread, but once again, that GA is going to be really difficult now, because let's say they use all the utility onto the Varus, well, he's going to be back, y'all, like, sorry about it. Braum also does have exhaust here, and he has some really good exhaust targets, especially if he's able to get that exhaust on UCI later before that damage goes out and gets healed out. And especially right now, Camille's putting a lot of pressure down on that bot lane, so they have to send a later back, which is a lot of their poke that they're missing.
Absolutely. We're still on this trend of just taking it slow. 30 seconds. That's interesting, right? Because if UCI can kind of stall out the starting of Baron, maybe they want to trade Dragon for it. Excuse me. It is Hextech Soul, which is pretty good on Syndra and Senna. Oh, and Jace. Oh my gosh, talk about Zeus.
And, you know, Braum there, he did get, I would say, caught out, but actually does not matter because he took negative damage right there. And then so that's really, once again, showing the importance of Braum here. But right now, they're going to be posturing towards this Baron. I don't think they're going to commit it, just because I don't know if they have the damage right now to take it, like, absolutely burst it down, especially with Jace gone and Senna in that top lane. But they are going to put a lot of pressure onto that top lane, and both TP units on the bottom. And actually, I'm going to have to eat my words right now because they actually will be taking the Baron, and right now it's going to be UCI led taking straight in. Both those TPs are going to be just a little bit late right now.
Yeah, we're starting it up. Senna turns the corner, finds a Braum. Unfortunately, can't burst that guy down. Mohana on the top side is coming in. Watch the Pop Blossom. Baron at 2,000 HP. It's too late to stop, but somebody needs to finish it. The flash in from Brandon. He actually steals it. A Braum as well to start us off on the front. UCI's backline goes untouched for now. Mike Young in the middle does fall. Unfortunately, a fantastic Zhonya's dissuades all of Senna's burst. UCI needs to back up, but Lipos gets rooted there by Nico. On the right-hand side, Senna falls to Varus, and Misfits is doing a wonderful job at shutting down Irvine right now. Lipos will drop as well, I imagine. Gorka trying to strike back. Hook shot is a little. We're on the needle here, Renee.
Oh my gosh. We talked about itemization. You talked about the lasagnas.
Yes.
I have to say, absolutely perfectly timed. Unfortunately, Mike Young was in the fray of 5 people all alone. It doesn't matter if he has his ultimate to negate damage outside the circle. If all 5 units are in the circle, what are you going to do? Simply, what are you going to do? And that steal. Oh my gosh. So unfortunate now. The tides are being 100% swayed towards Misfits, I would say. They have Baron that was, graciously leashed to them by UCI. And now they also are 1 soul point away with 3 of those Hextech.
Abyssal Dive is canceled. Pop Blossom does find onto Life Pulse here. He's really tanky. It's hard to shut down this Frog as of now. Mohano sprinting forward. Nico clones are so useful, I feel like.
Frog?
Sorry, yeah. Unclog the Frog. Bench the Kench.
Oh.
Unload the Toad.
I was like, wait, is he I actually don't know what.
He's Catfish.
Catfish? Heard. My bad, y'all. But now, once again, you talked about it, Quincy, and I think you are right. It's going to really come down to like how we play it and also how our ultimates are going to be used as well. I don't really know currently what's going to be the way that we're going to be trying to play this map right now, because it's going to be really hard. Because let's say you want to get like, oh yeah, let's push top. Let's put a lot of pressure top lane. Okay, well, yeah, we can do that, but right now only Cinnamon Bread has TP, and they can only now we're at the point of the game where like you don't really have to send like 3 people or 2 people up to one person. Our items are getting like practically the same. It's coming down to a quote unquote. I know it's not called skill matchup, but essentially like let's say you have Cinnamon Bread versus Nico. It's essentially like, well, who's gonna land your one-shot burst and who's gonna Zhonya's the other person faster. But Cinnamon Bread doesn't have Zhonya's. He has full damage and Crypto Bloom. So
yeah,
what's gonna happen there?
No, fair enough. And at this point in the game, ladies and gentlemen, these teams are dead even. 21 kills to 21 kills. Gold difference is negligible. We're 40 minutes in. This is League of Legends right here. It comes down to the wire. Which team is going to find the better engage? Who's going to make that one small play to make the difference in a game?
Yeah, and also Quincy, I'm glad that you mentioned like that 40 minutes, because I feel like a lot of times you see in these like high level games, they're like, okay, we're gonna take it slow and we're gonna explode automatically in games in like 20 or 25 minutes. But so far in these past 2 games, they've been going so far even into the late game, and late game is honestly I think where team fights really shine, because you're like, okay, like one tiny wrong move actually ends the game here right now. Probably reset timers are around a minute to even like 72 seconds, so it's going to be a lot. And oh my god, they did catch out the Camille on the backside, thankfully. Right now, it's like they're just going to be taking down turrets, positioning to see how they play. I really like this Nico positioning. She's positioning on this like mid-bursty assassin, not showing them exactly where she is. She could be bronze for all we know, and you would never know right now. And I think that's going to be a big determining factor in what ultimately she's going to be hitting later on in this game.
Absolutely. This is all so close. 2.5 minutes left on the board. Both teams are at Soul Point. Is that Cloud Soul? No, this says Cloud Dragon. This says Hextech. I'm a bit confused. It is Hextech Soul, though.
Hextech Soul.
Looks like a spectator bug, I do believe. I think Hextech Soul is... Oh, it's really good for both teams. I was going to say UCI, but I'm calling
It's good for both teams. It's you never know. That's why it's like so hard. I think right now, I would say it's... I feel like it's one of the most lackluster dragons, I would say. Not like super lackluster, but it just provides damage, kind of like Infernal. But, I think it's going to be really good onto Misfits right now.
I agree. I think it's good. It's really good with poke, right? Because you get this chain slow going. You got a little bit of extra minion clear. It's like you got bars Qs flying in. Brand combos doing a bunch of damage. Listen, we're out here, ladies and gentlemen, waiting for the moment. Gold is even. Braum it's not every day you get to see a Braum matching like full items, but here we are, 40 minutes in. Any pick can lead this game astray, because as you said, Renee, death timers are crazy long right now.
They are. We do see Nico, who's like a bit far in the back lane. I think right now it's honestly going to be up to Cinnamon Bread for UCI, and I think on the flip side for Misfits, it's going to be up to this Nico and this Varus, because they have the range in order to pick someone off. Especially the moment Cinnamon Bread gets like, let's say a QE, and it hits just one person, he could just walk up and R, hopefully if Braum is not next to them. But on the flip side, if Varus just Rs one person, especially if it's like one really good Abyssal Chain, I think the ultimate's name is called, and it gets like 3 or 4 people, they're going to have to use a lot to just get out of that Abyssal Chain, I don't really know what else would be called. I guess the chain. To Yeah, but right now we have Brand going in the back side. We also have Nico and Camille on the bottom, so it looks like they're going to be playing this, I think, possibly like back to front right now, or to go straight onto Gorka. Like, Pulse does commit the TP to get there out of, like, immediately, but Camille's down in the bot lane putting a lot of pressure that Jace has to respond to.
Yeah, somebody has to answer that. The rest of UCI are going to march forward. They want to try for something. Senna has 175 stacks. This man is stacked up. He can do so much damage. The engage from Camille here. I wonder who wins this 1v1. Looking like Camille so far. It cannot get out of the Hextech ultimatum. Elated forced to flash away. Shield does come through from the Senna ult, but it looks like he might drop anyways. He actually escapes with his life. The rest of UCI, I'm sure, are forcing a fight up top. I lied. Cinnamon Bread is here on the down low trying to find something. They do find Nico. 63-second death timer means she will not be alive for Dragon or Baron as they spawn, but Misfits have the first move. They're trying to burn this Dragon as quickly as they can. UCI have no answer.
I don't know. I think they're going straight for Baron. I think they just don't care about Soul. They just want to give up that Hextech Drake. But right now, Quincy, also something that was really important about that earlier fight, other part from that 60-second death timer, Nico doesn't have Flash right now.
Ooh.
She's gonna Flash. Right now, Flash, I mean, maybe she'll be up in like maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. But if they fight 2 or 3 more minutes and Nico doesn't get a really good pop blossom onto their backside, onto their Gorka and Cinnamon Bread, that might spell game, because right now we're seeing every little moment and every big moment counts.
Absolutely. And this at this point in the game, it is those little moments that add up to everything, just like this. Camille walks up just a little bit too far. Next thing you know, 3 members of UCI are sitting on top of you. The damage comes through, dodges a lot of it with the Hextech ultimatum, hookshot over the wall too. Discloses a lot of distance, and he's home free. Gorka on the side here trying to do something, but he's unable to. What an escape.
That was a really nice escape, and also the range on Senna. I know she has rapid fire cannon, I know she has a lot of stacks, but usually, like, once again, when you see it in real time, you're like, dang, that's a lot of range. So I'm really excited to see how they're going to be, utilizing that for their advantage. Right now, everything is really neck and neck. Senna is going to be practically full build here. Honestly, we're almost full build for like almost everyone else. Once again, Jace actually sold his boots here to go for another damage item, so he is losing, I would say, a little bit of mobility in exchange for a lot more of that damage. So it really is, it's super neck and neck. I kind of just want to see like one big team fight, honestly, right now, because I'm like, yeah, you're stacking up, but I just want to see like how they're gonna do these fights out and how they're gonna be getting these picks, because right now they're playing very close together. Nico's in that bot lane. She does have TP up. But if they get a pick before Nico can TP, it might spell game. So everything is really, once again, coming down to these like very, you would think, possibly key minor moments that are actually going to cascade into something much bigger.
Absolutely. It's hard to find a pick on a Misfits too. They're playing so conservative, especially, you think, oh, let's just pick Varus. Man's got Jack Show and Guardian Angel. He's tough to take down. He's probably sitting on 170 armor, something like that. So he's definitely no easy feat to take down. But as we march, well, we're not marching anywhere, actually. We'll go back to this.
Yeah, we do have Mike Young purchasing the Guardian Angel, which is, once again, a really good item. But on the flip side, I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Varus' Guardian Angel might be back up. Not sure. But also here, if we look at the itemization, we saw Cinnamon Bread, utilize that stopwatch status effect. He actually had to sell it because he was worried that maybe a fight's going to happen, so now he has Verdant Veil instead of stopwatch, no Zhonya's. So it's going to be really unfortunate, because if they take out that Verdant Veil proc, and he's going to be completely defenseless here. So it's really scary, honestly, to see how they're going to be playing this map. One person is pushing mid, all of them are pushing bot lane. Maybe UCI later is going to see if he can stall them out, but if he gets picked off like that, right now we might be looking at a 70-second death timer, which is insane.
UCI marching up the bot side. No Baron available to kind of counter trade for this, so sure, Misfits have that play on the mid wave, but they're going to knock down this tower in an instant. This could mean an inhib for Irvine, which at this point in the game is an incredibly strong tool. The inhib does go down, but now they're in the depths of Misfits' territory. They have to march forward. Braum trying to slow down Gorka, but Light Pulse does gobble him up. Mike Young on the front line is going to back off for now. Gorka's hitting. He's got almost 200 sold in his pocket. Cinnamon Bread finds an ult onto Varus. We're not going to make that jump, though. He has GA. You can't kill him that easily. As we march forward, looks like Misfits are not going to pursue Irvine as they walk just out of their reach. Oh my goodness, they got away with the inhib.
They're playing so safe, but they're also playing so well. Everything. They're just playing well. Yeah. We gotta admit. Right now, let's frame the next fight right now, right?
They might have
Nico Flash right now. We have Varus Flash online. Varus has no ultimate.
They don't go for it. That's crazy.
Mike Young just already used his...
On the bottom side, Pop Blossom is on to 1 for now. Mike Young gets picked out. This is a disastrous situation. This is a long death timer with some objectives up on the table. Eventually, 64 seconds. That is incredible. What a pick. A TP away from Senna as well to try to hold down this base. My goodness.
This is gonna be really unfortunate. Mike Young has, I think, I don't know what the dead time, the cooldown on that Guardian Angel is, but I'm assuming it's around like 3 or 4 minutes long, which is absolutely insane because right now, once again, every minute matters. You are 46 minutes into this game.
A 5-minute cooldown on the Guardian's Angel.
Absolutely insane. Thank you so much, production and our lovely observer. But now, once again, I don't know if he has to maybe keep the item, sell it. I think the stats are good enough for him to keep right now. And also, I don't know if he has the gold enough to sell it to maybe go for another quote-unquote defensive item right now. But it's going to be really unfortunate that that did occur and that pick went out. You know, looking at the map, right, we do have a lot of flashes, as we said earlier, and these flashy plays are going to be really important moving on to this map, especially because, like, let's say, like, Mahano flashes onto Gorka, right? Gorka gets eaten. Okay, well, like, Psych, I have Camille Flash. I'm just going to flash ultimate here, and now she's dead. Like, that. There's just so many ways that fights can currently go on right now that it's going to be really hard for them to play, honestly, really anywhere close to Misfits.
We're seeing a couple all-in pings from Misfits coming onto UCI here, marching forward. That is a fake Nico. Don't worry, everybody. We're still absolutely chilling. Shock Blaster hitting, but they're not doing that much damage to Varus because he has Jack, Show, Guardian's Angel. He's trying to do what he can. It looks like they want to force a fight. Their posturing is very aggressive here. Corrupt Chains don't find anybody with the Pop Blossom Might. They find Elated. That's a key member. He drops a half out. The hook shot secures the rest of the damage. Hextech Ultimatum takes him down. Bako goes golden in the middle. Mike Young unable to do a thing. Gorka on the backside with the ult coming through. Shields are everywhere. Mike Young is getting healthy up in the backside. Light Pulse trying to defend Gorka. He gobbles him up. He's inside the clinch, but he can't get out. Scout of the Weak finds multiple, but Misfits are taking this land slide, and the fight goes entirely in their way. That's going to be the end of this 50-minute slugfest, Renee.
Oh my gosh, Misfits! Quincy, we talked about it earlier. Misfits, all they really have to do is go straight in. They have a lot of AoE damage, they have a lot of CC, and they can just go straight in and get that pick. I really think UCI, they played pretty well up until around this like later part of the map where, like, you know, Misfits is kind of dominating the map and dominating where they're playing. And I honestly want to say one of my star players here is actually going to be Mahono because he is doing a lot of these Nico fakeouts, and I think that ultimately led to Misfits taking it down in this 48-minute game.
What a game. That was 48 minutes of an incredibly close back and forth game. It's not every day you get to see that. That right there was some League of Legends.
Definitely some League of Legends right there, Quincy. So I just want to talk about, you know, Misfits right now because once again, 48-minute game, y'all. Single time Rel would go in, he would, you know, stomach slam her, and she would be absolutely useless. He's so good at negating that Rel engage, especially also against the Yasuo.
We're locking in Yasuo.
You know, the Wine Yellow Center Yasuo, but I don't know how I feel about that pick.
Listen, you only live once, Renee. You have to lock in Yasuo. They're going to pair it with that Rel, which is a disgusting engage if they can so get it. Definitely tough to play into when you have a Gragas body slamming you every 4 seconds.
Yeah.
I love that UCI have the awareness to ban Diana here because that is an insane combo with Yasuo. I wonder if we'll see another one of those kind of wombo matchups banned out as well here, but we'll have to see.
There's the Orianna ban coming out, which is, you know, really good if you have like Orianna Vi. It's like Orianna Nocturne, one of my absolutely favorite engages of my life. But also, I think you're right, where like Gragas is gonna be a really good answer against Yasuo and Rel, and also even Kaisa with that ultimate. But also, I think Vi here is also a really good response pick because Vi can just shut down. If Yasuo goes in, she's just gonna shut him down immediately, or shut down the Kaisa the moment she sees her. And even if Kaisa goes invisible, it's still gonna track. Which I think is gonna be really good for the rest of this comp. And also, Smolder has a lot of like mobility. He's like an oddly really mobile champion. If you ever try to fight him, he's like really hard to stick on, which I think is going to be really good here. I think Talia might be a good response pick here, especially going into this jungle. She's going to have, you know, really good engages. She's also going to be able to negate the Gragas and Vi, E and Q. But regardless, I'm still caught up on this Yasuo. I don't really know how I feel about it.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of, in all honesty, a little bit of, listen, both of us are teams who are out of NACL now. Let's just have a little bit of fun, especially after the rough day we've both obviously had. Swain's a great pick into Talia. Talia does not have the damage to burst down Swain, and Swain just sticks to her like glue. I think it's really great into Kai'Sa's Yasuo as well. Both very low range champs. Swain can be an unkillable Demon King. This game.
Definitely. I really like that I've seen picks that I've never seen before, especially a lot of these times. And Renekton was recently buffed. I don't think he is still one of the strongest top players. I think he still has really good early and mid-game agency, but compared to, let's say, like last season where he was like, you would see Renekton in almost every single one of your games and he was stomping people left and right, I do think he has fallen off just a little bit, and I don't know if that has to do with maybe nerfs he's got in the past or new itemization. But regardless, still love to see it. And Silas here, is something I'm also interested about, just because I feel like he doesn't really have the best ultimates to steal.
Oh,
Other than
it's
Vi.
so no, it's Silas stealing Swain ult.
Oh, is it good?
My gosh, it is insane. If you see
Okay.
Swain, you lock in Silas on the
Oh,
enemy team.
really?
It's that disgusting.
Oh
Absolutely.
dang! I've actually not gonna lie, I've actually never seen a Silas Swain interaction.
Wow.
So I can't wait to see how it works, because I thought like Swain's interaction was like the more you're like they're near you, it stays longer. But I thought
Yeah.
Silas has like a nerfed version of all these like AOE ults, but maybe he doesn't.
Yeah, Silas loves getting in there. He's gonna get full
Oh,
benefits
dang.
from that Swain ult. He sticks like glue. He has his own healing with his W. It is insane. If he gets ahead, I imagine it's disastrous for UCI. But that's going to be our draft going into this final game of NACL. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot wait to see what these teams have in store.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I really like the Kaisa pick on YOLO versus UCI. However, I don't know how Kaisa does really well against Smolder in per se. But we saw Kaisa in game 1 absolutely demolish with that hybrid Eclipse plus AP item build. A lot of damage on her W. She's almost kind of like an assassin, which is absolutely insane. She's recently buffed, and especially now that you're talking about that Silas Swain, I thought like Silas had like a nerfed version of some ultimates that were like that, but I didn't know he had that. So once again, guys, you learn something new every single day at UCI Esports. So I'm honestly really happy to see that, and I think that's going to be an absolute menace to watch. So
Yeah,
and also really frustrating for the enemy team.
Oh yeah,
100%.
it's painful to play against. It's not something you want to play against in these games, and something you have to watch out for. If you're ever thinking, hey, we should pick Swain, you got to ban Silas, or you're going to be seeing it against it. But as we jump into game, this will be our final League of Legends game of today. Team YOLO versus UCI Esports.
Yeah, we also have Gorka Lifepost in this bot lane, and we're going to have Cinnamon Bread down here in this mid lane. I'm not going to lie, I remember when I was looking at draft, and I was like, oh wait, like, who is their top laner? But they're actually going for top B also here. He's going for Ignite, so I believe that he's going to be going for all these early game kills and trying to snowball whatever that he can. But right now it looks like we're actually both on opposite sides of the map for our level 1 engage, which is kind of funny to see here. I wonder if they might walk into someone on the top lane, especially Mr. Windcrafty, and who's going to be having a lot of mobility recently.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. These teams are clearly thinking along the same caliber, but I can't, as these teams kind of meander into the enemy jungle's top lane, Yasuo gets dumpstered by Renekton.
Yeah,
there's no way that champion plays the game. I imagine against a guy like Elated too, unless Honey Boba is some Yasuo extraordinaire, I cannot see it going well up there.
And look at them actually stacking this bush with 3 wards. They want this level 1 so bad, and honestly, I don't think they're gonna get it, which is kind of funny about it. And we're talking about this early game versus Elated and Honey Boba, and I honestly think you're absolutely right. I don't think there's a lot of stuff that Yasuo can do here, but I think the only way that Yasuo wins this lane is like if he gets really lucky with his range.
Okay.
And just able to like Q and then Q, and then like when Elated might be just a little bit low enough and doesn't have enough rage on his Q to heal, he goes straight in for like maybe like a flash ignite. I think that's like the only way that he wins this, but regardless, I know that Renekton is an absolute power pick, especially in the early game.
Yeah, definitely. No ignite on Renekton, so it's maybe he doesn't have quite the kill pressure that he would want, but I imagine we're going to see nothing but action this game. Cinnamon Bread on Smolder. I don't know if we've seen that yet. Smolder, of course, being a very, very predominant pick in the meta right now, but
we did see Cinnamon Bread. Oh wait, let me hold that thought real quick. Lightpost is, catching out Windcrafty and on these Krugs already. It looks like they're going to be moving over for this actually level 1 pick, which is absolutely kind of insane.
He's on to him. He's not going to let him have these Krugs for free. Although I'm not sure what Lightpost and Gorka can really do about this. Kaisa is still farming down in that bot lane. If they want to make an engage, they can, but I'm not sure he can quite do it. Did not steal that Krug with the Swain. He did go over to Talia, who's now level 3. Seismic Shove gets sidestepped. We're all good.
Yeah, and it looks like also Renekton was already forced out of lane with both summoner spells down out on the top lane. So this is looking like a really feisty level 1 game already. The wave is probably stacked, so they might actually go for a dive here, but Gorka and Lightpost both still have flashes online. So if they flash out maybe some of those Talia damage, they might be able to get it out.
Gorka's making a run for it, dodges the Seismic Shove. A TP from Senna as well is going to provide them with the safety they need to get out. But hang on, the 2-man Death Grip is going to pull Rel back over that wall. Lightpost drops low. The Sage... Okay, how do you pronounce this guy's name?
Sage Wave.
I want to say like Sage Wabe.
Oh, that sounds good. I don't know why I was thinking like Sagey Wavy. But,
right? It makes you kind of want to roll it off.
Yeah. Regardless, we never know, but it looks like they're going in for round 2 down here.
Yeah, we're not done quite yet. The stun from Nostalgia Lee does come through. Gorka is alive. That's going to be 1 kill going over to him. A flash does not save his life as Sage does manage to scrape out of there. 1 turret shot would have taken him down. Whoa, and a dive top
Oh.
lane, because why not? Honey Bubba goes down, Flash was used, and he's going to miss an entire wave as well. UCI understand that, hey, we can't make a play bot side, let's go get something top side.
Yeah, and they're playing absolutely so much more aggressively than we've been seeing these past 2 games. And, you know, Quincy was talking about earlier where, like, we've never seen Cinnamon on that mid lane Smolder, but we have actually, and they did some scrims against some other NACL teams, and, like, in the relevant
Oh, he
we
didn't get
did
the
see
plate.
Cinnamon Bread in that. Oh, yeah, and he didn't get that plate, which is really sad. That's minus, is it 125 gold? I believe it's like minus
That sounds right.
125,
Yes.
which is really unfortunate. That could be the difference between another longsword or a boots. Regardless, I think right now UCLA is probably going to be stomping this top lane. And honestly, although like I believe that their bot lane might be ahead for Team Yellow, I don't really think them being that much ahead is going to put UCIs at a deficit at all. Really.
Yeah, their team fight, or excuse me, their kind of game plan is these late game team fights. I imagine Swain, Smolder are just two really, really strong team fight champs. Team YOLO has a very heavy skirmishing comp, maybe a little bit more team fighty when you give Silas that Swain ult, but hang on, Cinnamon Bread is being engaged on by Snowflake as he tries to dish some damage out. Smolder's very weak at this point of the game. Seismic Shove does land as Senna drops. Mike Young in a 1 versus 2, unable to do a thing. Nice pick there from YOLO.
Yeah, Senna unfortunately thinking that maybe his W can get him out of there on not using the flash, but regardless, it does not work. I'm also looking at our items here already, Quincy. Rel is already opting for those lucidity boosts. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that, but it looks like UCLA is also just like straight in for Honey Bubba, getting taken down immediately. A wave of minions does not matter at all.
Yeah, that's how I imagine this matchup goes. Yasuo gets near the Croc and he has to deal with the Jaws. It's not going to work too well. Bot lane shoving in here on the side of Irvine as well, but up on the top side, we've got Grubbies in our pockets.
Yeah, Talia does have the read on this, but I honestly don't think that she's going to be able to do as much as she wants to unless she plays her range really well. UCLA does not have flash. Mike Young also doesn't have flash. He does get hit by all 3 of those abilities.
Wow, no follow-up damage from Talia. Did hit the seismic shove to start things off. The flash forward is going to secure that kill onto Elated for now, but it might spell death for Wimcraft. Mike Young marching forward. Conqueror fully procs. Let's see how much damage Mike Young can deal. Yet another seismic shove. Going to secure his own life there. Wonderful plays across the map for YOLO.
Yeah, YOLO got also one of those scrubs, 2 kills. Wow, Talia is going to be absolutely stacking now as she makes her way across the map. Gorka and Lipos, I really like how they're just like pushing in the waves and backing off. I think it allows for them to take a lot of the lane pressure that they thought that they would probably quote-unquote miss, not having a traditional ADC because they have a mage APC, so they're going to have a lot of wave fear. Gorka is saying that he doesn't take another turn shot, but you know, once again, Lipos negating that Rel W, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, Sage Web getting chunked out there. Mid is getting chunked out as well as both moms went by. Elated and Honey Bubba are going at it yet again. This Yasuo is on something. He's trading out as much as he can. Snowflake does take a kill in mid lane, and it was so close.
Really close. It looks like Mom was called. Flash was used on both sides, but it does not look like it is going to be enough. Actually, wait. If Silas calls Mom, does he also his mom?
That's a good question. Is he also calling in Smolder's mom to fight against him? We'll have to hold that thought as Gorka and Lipos are on the backside. Gorka has no mana. The seismic shove lands again. Wimcraft is just insane with these. The Qs are not quite going to land there as Nostalgia does find the stun, but I'm sure the damage is not quite there for the follow-up.
Damage unfortunately not there, but Swain does get 1 stack. And also, speaking of stacks, we have 2 stacking champions. We have Swain, and we also have Smolder. So, although we talked about not getting a 50-minute game, you never know what will happen if we do get one with all of these stacks. UCI later looks like was able to push Honey Bubba successfully out of lane, but Honey Bubba does get a really nice reset, not missing a lot of minions, but it looks like it might be like slow pushed or frozen. I'm not 100% too sure. I think it's up to wait for 2 push.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look up there again a little bit. Snowflake, I imagine, is going to be putting a lot of pressure onto Cinnamon Bread here. Under tower even. He's going in with this pressure. Cinnamon Bread getting some stacks in return. Does it yet again. Takes another turret shot. This mid lane is way more hype than I thought it would.
I know, and look at that fun little Yumi. It was in fact a fun little slow push down in that top lane, but it looks like Rel is going to try and answer to UCI later, but he does stun Honey Bubba out of it.
Wow. Trying to find that knock-up to secure the Yasuo ult flash, but it hits either way. Wind walls for the vision to find the ult. This guy is a Yasuo connoisseur, but hang on. There's nothing you can do against a Vault Breaker coming at you at high velocities. Elated finds a stun as well. Looks like a double kill. What a play. Unfortunately, I just gotta imagine that's how this matchup goes every time.
You're absolutely right, Quincy, and that's also why I was once again I saw you also and I was like that's interesting. Not gonna lie, but right now we have Light Pulse and Snowflake having a fun little skirmish, and he does get him out.
Oh, Light Pulse is putting the moves on. Boom,
Dang,
Ali.
Greg's just skinny right there, yo. But now moving forward into this game, looks like we have Gorica trying to do whatever they can, stage wave, stacking up that wave, and I think this is mostly how I expected the spotlight to go. Kaisa's not gonna be going for the Eclipse build. She's not also going for the Man build. She's going straight crit here, which not gonna lie, I also don't really know how I feel about going straight crit here. I just don't think currently it's one of her strongest builds, but regardless, it is still strong and can help a lot with how much frontline agency that they have with Rel and quote-unquote Silas for frontline.
Absolutely. Now Silas sees this Swain ult, says, listen, I can take Swain ult and I'm more than happy, but actually decides he just does not want to partake in this part of the game, is going to leave, but hang on, he's back. We're good in the... Yeah, we're good. Swain has ult here. This can be dangerous. The E does not land. The never move does go a little bit wide, but we're going to bait out a TP and a Swain ult and be on our merry way onto Dragon. That was a beautiful play from YOLO as well.
Yeah, and I honestly cannot imagine how satisfying Swain felt getting all those plus 14s in like 1 second with that ultimate for that wave here, but it looks like Team YOLO wants more, and it looks like they might get it. Talia sees Cinderbread out on the fray, but it doesn't look like they're going to be doing anything more right now.
Yeah, we're just going to steal Mike Young's chickens, unfortunately. I'm sure Mike Young has had this happen many times before. Elated keeps on putting the onslaught onto Honey Boba up on the top side. I'm sure, even though UCI is down gold, I can only imagine what kind of gold lead Elated has right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what Elated's like Boba's order of choice may be, but I'm going to assume it's not Honey Boba because right now Elated is at a almost 2k gold lead, which is absolutely 1.5k to each side.
Elated has ult. This could be a lot closer than I think it can. Snowflake can't steal it right back. The stun does come through the dash. That's the first slice. Light Pulse is here, calling the reinforcements because that's all it takes to shut down Snowflake. Elated is stealing Swain's title of Unkillable Demon King out there.
That was absolutely beautiful. Flash me, unfortunately Snowflake cannot do anything about having your best friends up at that top lane. Right now it looks like Mike Young is also going to be getting the last 3 grubs, and that means they're going to have a fun little void baby for those towers, and that's going to be really well for them. Cinderbread is just stacking up right now. He has 79 stacks at 10 minutes. I don't know the actual statistics on this, but I think that may just be a little bit lower than people are expecting. I believe right now you're aiming for around like 90 to 100. Regardless of the fact though, he's stacking up, not giving any kills out, and Gorica also is just, doing his fun little stacking and pushing waves, because I think that's really all that you can do right now in the spot.
Absolutely, and in this mid lane, all you can do right now is run. He's going to slide out of the movement. Oh, coming through. Mom, just to clear the wave, I imagine. He's going to get a nice reset timer. Nothing lost. Nothing. Well, there is something gained, absolutely. But
Gosh,
Boba
why are they bullying him?
He's getting the treatment a little bit. Mike Young has ult available. Honey Boba has no flash. If they can find the ult, I'm sure it's a kill secure. Elated can slide through these minions. He's trying to dash away. Let's see if they can reach him. We're marching forward. He actually gets away from them.
I know, absolutely crazy. It looks like they just didn't have enough range on that. They also have no flashes up, but also if I were them, I probably wouldn't have wasted a flash on him because he is 1 and 4. But regardless, that doesn't mean that this is the end for him. He can still do whatever he wants in the rest of this game. And also looks like they're just going to be putting a lot more pressure down on the spot side, as Mike Young is going to keep pushing for Honey Boba and not letting him play the game.
Yeah, we don't want this man getting any gold whatsoever. Not only that, but we're just taking this opportunity. This character is... There's a reason he's not picked very much in these kinds of games. He's just not as effective as any other top laner as of now. But Gorka finds himself in a tough spot in the middle of 2 Windcraft. Has the damage, but hang on, Gorka's living much longer than I would have expected. Magnustorm does come in, Seismic Shove lands, and the damage does come through, and Gorka will drop, unfortunately.
Wow, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting him to survive for that long, but that really shows the unkillable Demon King. Cinderbread might be a bit of a killable spot here.
Snowflake going a little bit deep. His mom does unfortunately miss. Talia on the backside, nipping at his heels, but is unable to claim that kill. Light Pulse is in an interesting position. Counter Mom does come in as Windcraft forced to flash over. There's that explosive cast coming through. Whoa, Light Pulse.
He shot a bit wide. He did shot a bit wide, but regardless of the fact, they still get a kill on a kill. And it looks like they're going to be trying to go for the size, but he's just going to recall immediately. Poor Cinderbread is kind of getting that treatment where it's like, hey, I think he might be getting weak-sided here a little bit. Silas is really good early game, really good mid game, really good late game. He's just one of those champions who's like has really good kill agency, and unfortunately Smolder doesn't have that much of a kill agency, especially in the mid lane, because he's just going for that stacking and stacking.
It's true. Playing weak side for mid is a crazy statement.
Definitely a crazy statement, but I'm not gonna say he's full weak side, but you know he's currently going 0-3, and not they're playing for a lated, which I think is really good. They're gonna be snowballing that lead, especially right now. He and both Vi has Sundered Sky up, and also regardless, I think even if they do weak side this swing, he's still gonna be strong regardless.
Nice. Seismic Shove is going to claim life pulse for just a second here. Knockup does not find. Has the body slam in a couple seconds, but Nostalgia Lee sits on top of him. You're not going anywhere, big man. And I think as much as we can focus on the bottom side of the map, Team YOLO has this lingering doom over their heads, which is we're going to layer the CC on top of Snowflake, trying to find as much as we can. The healing comes through. He's going to escape with a lot of HP. Wait a minute, Mike Young goes down.
Oh my gosh.
He wants more. Wait a minute.
My god.
It even falls to Snowflake. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, there is a win con for UCI, and it looks like they just gave it away.
Yeah, and now it looks like Kaisa already has Kraken Slayer. She's 3-0. We have Silas 4-1 already. Cinnamon Bread is getting absolutely pushed down, but Lipos is going straight in.
Lipos is not messing around as he wants this engage onto this little Kaisa that we see before us. Lipos is not going to find that body slam, unfortunately, but listen, I like that. That's a shutdown into the pocket of, I believe, Gorka, which is huge. If that guy's hard to kill, the game is won. Lipos in a sticky situation as Honey Bubba did end up behind him somehow, but a TP from none other than Elated is going to scare off the entire side of YOLO. Sliding through the stun, we're going to find the W onto Talia. Got some health missing. Mug Young leading the charge, no ults available. Magnet Storm combo comes through with Yasuo. He's doing so much work as Honey Bubba proved to be very useful in this fight. Mike Young, the last man standing, as that is a 4-for-0 team fight for the side of YOLO.
Oh my gosh. Quincy, you talked about it earlier when we were talking about draft that, Yasuo can be there when they get that Wombo combo, and the Wombo combo did hit. I am absolutely loving how they're playing the mid to bot side of this map. Snowflake, although he's strong mid, he's saying, you know what, guys? I don't think Cinnamon Bread's that much of a threat. I'm sorry. I'm going to go help you guys right now. I'm going to help you balling. I'm going to help you top lane. I'm going to get 2 kills under my turret and collect almost a 1,000 gold shutdown for me and only me. And now I'm 5-1. My support somehow is 4-2, and Kaisa is 3-1 paired with that Talia 3-1. Cinnamon Bread trying to get away from Snowflake. Has to burn Flash.
Nice Flash to get him out of there. Listen, Smolder has not been a problem this far in the game. Is at 150 stacks. Only increasing. Snowflake wants in. The heal from Senna does come down thanks to the help of Mom, but now Snowflake finds himself in an interesting position. Remember, he's worth 400 gold on this shutdown. He has to find a way to not give it over, but I do think it is going to go over, ideally to Smolder, but Mike Young will claim that one up, and you love to see that. That is, I don't know what I was going to say there. I'm going to be totally honest with you now.
I mean, honestly, that's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't expecting Smolder to be that tanky and survive for that long, especially against such a fed Silas, but he really showed up and pulled it through. But now, right now, Quincy, right? They only have one more shutdown to collect for UCI, and now can turn the tide. So Team Lilo, who should be out of 2k gold lead, might not be that much. Lipos hiding in a bush, and Honey Boba has absolutely no awareness, and he's just going to slide right past him.
We're looking for the flank here from Lipos. Mike Young leads the fray into Sage as he's going to drop shortly. The Cats come through, hitting nobody, but it doesn't matter because it secures the kills for UCI here as we just march into 3. And just like that, we thought we were on the back foot, but here we are knocking on the front door of YOLO.
I know, and UCI later, he was so low, and then immediately flashed WQ on Kaisa. Has to have a health back. He has the focus that we all love and want, and there it is. The Swain ultimate that you're talking about on that Silas, but it looks like Mike Young is just going to be taking Dragon by himself. This is going to be the first Dragon for UCI, and this is going to be Mount.
Love to see it. We're taking some objectives here. UCI did claim 5 Void Grubs, I believe, if I'm reading the top of the screen correctly. Now in a sticky situation, has to slide on out of there. We're back in the pit. Mike Young says, this is not your dragon, it's mine, as he does claim that with his smite, and he cues right back out. We call that the in and out maneuver. Fine burgers and fries, but Snowflake trying to lead into something more, trying to create an opportunity, but there's nothing quite there, unless there is, as he binds in Lipos. The bodyguard says, get away from my AD carry. Not sure how well that's going to work, though, as he's living forever. Snowflake is full HP with no end in sight. He's just going to keep marching forward. So hard to kill, but Mom comes down on the bottom side as Cinnamon Bread is caught out amongst 4 members of YOLO. A couple members are low, but there's no kills found for Irvine.
Yeah, Quincy, you talked about Silas being disgusting with that Swain ultimate, and it is absolutely disgusting. I kept watching and I was like, oh, it's gonna go out, and then it absolutely did not go out. Cinnamon Bread is actually getting caught out a lot this game, which is super unfortunate. He is, I think, around 0-4, 0-5, but regardless, that does. Oh, he's actually wonderful. He taking a shot. My bad, y'all. But regardless from that, it doesn't even matter if he's getting caught up that much because the team is working around all of this matchup, which is really good. Light Pulse doesn't take any damage as a social oppression does get popped up if I keep trying to clear the wave.
On the bot side does get taken down, but Mike Young followed up by a Magnet Storm by a Nostalgia Lee is going to take down Mike Young. That's a big shutdown into the pockets of YOLO. This is an non-stop interesting game. We're dropping 33 kills in this one, and we're only 18 minutes in.
Damn, they are fighting for their life because this is the last game for them both for NACL, unfortunate. But now, once again, we saw Team Yellow. They looked like they were so ahead. 2K gold disparity. Now they're at only a 400K gold disparity, which is absolutely insane. UCI has picked it up immaculately. I think right now the only objective right now that they're going to be looking for is just, Baron's going to come up soon. Don't know if they're probably not going to take 20-minute Baron. And then just Dragons. Right now they're probably just going to be stacking, trying to get as much gold as possible as they can. Maybe get a pick here and there, loving the fun little mirror build that we're seeing from Mike Young and UCI lated on this Renekton and that Vi. And now we're just, trying to get our second item where Kaisa already has her Terminus, so she should just be a little bit tinky. I'm assuming we're probably going to see this Terminus Jack show on Kaisa for a bit more survivability.
I think so. I think we're more than happy taking this fight here mid as well. Light Pulse's ult gets blocked by Honey Bobo. There's that Yasuo value. Cinnamon Bread on that left side of your screen as Snowflake runs straight into the fray. Silas is leading the charge, but Gorka in a fantastic position with the ult pop. We do have the Vault Breaker coming out from Vive with the lockdown onto Sage Wannabe. Gorka 1 HP in the back line. Elated slides into the middle of 3. He's going to find multiple members. The smolder damage coming out in the back line as well. The team fight is, no matter what, going in UCI's favor in this case. We're going to push mid. We're going to push top, pillage their jungles. There's nothing YOLO can do at this stage. What a fight for the Anteaters.
What an absolutely amazing fight, Quincy. You said it absolutely impeccably. Look at all the flashes that were burned in that fight. Kaisa flash, gone. Yasuo flash, gone. Talia flash, gone. Everyone wanted that fight to be so impactful. Honey Boba, we talked about that amazing wombo combo, but it looks like Honey Boba ulted just a little bit too early before that Rel ultimate went through and got two pivotal members of UCI that he definitely should have won. And also Seiji Weibi, or however you say that name, I'm going to go Seiji Weibi right now, y'all. But Mr. Seiji Weibi did flash a wind-walled Gragas ultimate, which is also very unfortunate. I think, they definitely have the reaction speed, but maybe they're just a bit too scared.
It's true. That last team fight went a little unfortunate as well. Snowflake ran in on that Silas, died really quickly. He had no stopwatch. He was very confident engaging there. Maybe a little bit of false confidence, we'll call that, but that's a lot more gold into Gorka's pocket and certainly a lot more into Cinnamon Bread's as he sits at over 200 stacks already. He's very, very close to that 225 mark, which is where the real pain begins for the side of YOLO.
I know, 225, but almost like 21, 20, maybe 22 minutes is going to be absolutely insane. And honestly, I don't really know how Team YOLO is going to respond to it. I think right now Cinnamon Bread has a lot of 1v1 agency.
Light Pulse is caught out, but is he really, or is it a Nuno reverse card? We now have Seiji Weibi absolutely caught out. Magnet Storm not enough to save your AD carry coming out of Nostalgia. Light Pulse wants more. We found Windcrafty, and as he drops as well. Well, hang on. We're going golden for just a second. Orca with the perfect timing downtown.
Dancing on him.
Love to see it. The Silas has Swain ult. He is going to pop up. Let's see just how long he can live. A flash forward, dishing out as much damage as he can, but it's not quite enough to find a kill. Pings onto Baron from the Anteaters. They're trying to finish this game out.
They want to finish it. They said we had too many 40 to 50-minute games, and guys, I'm ready at 232 stacks. I'm absolutely huge. I played weak side for a little. Now it's my turn to shine, and that's what Cinnamon Bread is doing exactly. I do think right now the Silas was very ahead, and I just think he gave up his lead. He wasn't able to push it further as much as he could, especially compared with Windcraft and Seiji Weibi. They had 3 people who were absolutely dominating, and unfortunately they just couldn't push that lead that they should have been pushing. It looks like Talia might get caught out.
He is a little bit caught up, but he's actually going further straight into Yasuo. He finds one, actually 1 for 0 so far in his favor. Kaisa does a lot of damage. He's on cooldowns for now, finds the stun, finds the slice and dice, finds the auto into another kill. Elated is the styling on Team YOLO, but I imagine Windcraftian will be the end of him. But hang on, a TP coming out of Cinnamon Bread on the right side here is not going to amount to anything. He's going to back it on up, or is he, as he walks back in? He's level 15. So he can dish out some damage, especially with the help of his mom. The slow does fine as he engages here. Cinnamon Bread marching forward. The tick bleeds down, and he does get the execute. Mike Young kind of wants to go further too. These teams may be a little bit on the sloppier side right now, but it's going in the favor of the Anteaters.
Absolutely disgusting. First we have Elated, and then we have Cinnamon Bread showing up and putting in that style. Absolutely insane, and I absolutely love. I actually didn't know that Smolder had a fun little execute on his Q when he got the stacks, and I think that really just shows how impactful Smolder is.
It's true. That is pretty much the entire reason why you want that 225 stacks, is because it gives you an execute. But UCI is not done as they keep finding the chain CC onto Honey Boba. I do wonder if he's approaching the 1 in 10 power spike. We'll have to wait till next time to find out, as it looks like UCI are just going to march forward on this one. They got 30 seconds on Yasuo to count that one down. Many ults available for the side of Irvine. They try to find the kill. Explosive pass separates a couple members of the Anteaters, but it amounts to no kills for Team YOLO. We're going to call in Mom doing a lot of damage. Light Pulse with the follow-up comes through. Gorka is ignoring the Magnet Storm as he marches further back into the side of Team YOLO. And ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long day of League of Legends, but Irvine are not done fighting quite yet as they claim this last game against Team YOLO.
UCI, oh my gosh, that was so immaculately played. It looked just so beautiful on screen. You can see the Wombo combo. We thought Team Yo was in the Wombo combo, but it looks like they are not. It looks like Yasuo, unfortunately, going 2 NA. He doesn't even have enough time to get 10 dead. So unfortunate, and that win is going to UCI. What an absolutely amazing play.
That is it, ladies and gentlemen. NACL unfortunately ends this year for UC Irvine as we are knocked out, but we went out with a bang. We took the final standings 2 and 4, which are, of course, not positive things, but we did our best. We learned a lot on the way. Lose is improved.
Yeah, Luz has definitely improved. I honestly think, you know, UCI's performance throughout all of this, regardless of our losses, I think our performance was really well played. I really liked